while the Dodgers have dominated the National League West with the best record in the game. The Cubs have turned their season around in the Central Division in a wide open race, and the beast of the East, that has been the Washington Nationals. With an offense that can do damage up and down the lineup, the Nats are hoping for a long playoff run. It won't happen for the Giants this year. They do know the feeling of playing baseball into deep October, though. Tonight, it's game 2 of a doubleheader. Next. It is a beautiful evening after a beautiful afternoon, very close to Capitol Hill here in Washington at Nationals Park. The Giants and the Nationals, game 2 of the doubleheader. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Xfinity. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Jeremy Affelt. Dave Fleming will be along in the middle innings, and Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow are on assignment. Kuiper will return tomorrow in the booth in Miami. And Jeremy, the Giants going for the sweep in this doubleheader. They'll have to get a sweep of the doubleheader if they're going to win this series 2 out of 3. And they're up against one of the premier pitchers in the game. He had a complete game victory against them in San Francisco back at the end of May. And he's extremely tough on right-handed pitchers, right-hand hitters in particular.
Yeah, righties are hitting $140 off him. You're going to see the Giants put probably a pretty heavy left-handed lineup up against him. Your best shot's a fastball. It's the only really pitch that any of the hitters in all of baseball are hitting over 200 on. All the other pitches are under 100 batting or under 200 batting average. You have to get to him early. You got to attack his fastball. If he gets into a rhythm and he starts throwing his off speed at you, it's going to be a long night. He kind of throws the changeup. He loops that curveball in there, and then he burns you with a fastball. He's been mixing and matching a lot. He's thrown his fastball actually for the lowest percentage he's ever thrown it in his entire career. So he's starting to mix and match and pitch a little bit more, not just try to overpower you. And these hitters have a tough feat ahead of them tonight, and the left-handed hitters are the best chance for the Giants.
Matt Moore will go for the Giants and try and pitch a good one against this Washington ball club. We're ready to do it all over again. The Giants won the first game 4-2. Game 2, lineups first pitch next. And the first pitch from Max Scherzer to Denard Span is in there for a called strike. And here we go. Game 2 of the doubleheader is underway. Span did not play game 1. And it's high and tight for a count of 1-1. Max Scherzer having a spectacular year. As you see, Span had been slumping. Denard with only 5 hits in his last 41 at bats. Curve is fouled off to the left. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open right now. Game time temperature is 84 degrees. Only 3 miles an hour out of the northeast with the winds, and partly cloudy, a little bit cooler. Humidity is much lower. And the changeup in the dirt for a ball. And Jeremy, Max Scherzer can do just about anything. Throws real hard. A variety of pitches.
Well, he's a Cy Young candidate again, and he's probably going to win it because of that. He seems like he can throw all his pitches for strikes, and nobody hits any of them well.
And the ground ball to second. 1 away. So Span leading off in center field. The Giants batting order brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The rest of the order: Joe Panik, a 3-hit first game, second base. Hunter Pence in right field. Buster Posey, the catcher, hitting .321. Pablo Sandoval at third base. Ryder Jones first base. Jarrett Parker in left field hitting 7th. Kelby Tomlinson at short, and Matt Moore, the pitcher, batting 9th against Scherzer. Leads the league in strikeouts. Strikeouts per 9 innings as he throws ball 1 to Joe Panik. First in the league in the batting average against. He's averaging well under 1 base runner allowed per inning. First in the league. Curveball. He got the call on that one. Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire, here for game 2. Joe Panik into the game with a .269 average after his 3-hit first game. And that is low and outside for a ball. The other umpires: Jerry Meals, the crew chief, at first, Chris Guccione at second, and Ryan Adderton up from the minor leagues, the third base umpire. The first game home plate umpire, Ryan Blakeney, has the night off, as Conroy, the plate umpire for this game, had the afternoon off. And that changeup in the dirt. 3-1.
As you can see from what I was saying earlier on pregame, he's going to mix it up. He's not just going to challenge you with a bunch of fastballs. He's shown 3 pitches already this inning, and he just kind of mixes and matches and comes right at you with all the pitches. There's no rhyme or reason. Can't sit on any one pitch.
Hit well to right field, and what a catch by Stevenson. He got completely turned around, started one way, had to spin completely around the other, and somehow caught it. It was just about to fly right past him.
Talking defense, after we saw that play from left to right, Kendrick Taylor, and the guy that just made that really awkward play out in the outfield, Stevenson. Third to first, Rendon, Defoe, Murphy, Zimmerman, Wieters catching, and Scherzer, a.k.a. Cy, pitching tonight.
Here's Hunter Pence. And that's a called strike at the knees.
It's like he got tied up here. It's kind of a circus route. He kind of got spun around. The ball is hit pretty hard, and he probably had to figure out which way it was going. Probably had a little bit of some tail to it. Spun back the other way. And instead of a double, it's an out. Just shows you how locked in Joe Panik is right now. I mean, this guy's pretty good, and Joe went up there and it looked like he squared that ball up pretty good, even though lefties, if anybody's going to hit really good off him, it seems to be lefties, but Joe just seems like he's not overmatched by anything coming at him right now.
95-mile-an-hour fastball blew it by him. And Hunter was opening up on that ball, planning to launch it, and he couldn't get it. 1-2. You mentioned Panik, the ball off his bat at 101 miles per hour. Two the count.
Max's pitch usage, you can see 49% fastballs, 30% sliders. He's going to go back and forth between the two. He's going to show an occasional curveball and changeup, even though he's shown the changeup already this inning against the left-handers. But he is showing his fastball the least of all his years in the big leagues. That's the least amount of time he's been using the fastball. He's just showing that he knows how to pitch. He's changing it up.
That changeup for the strikeout. 3 up, 3 down. Matt Moore will take them out when we come back.
Area is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By State Farm, protect the things you've worked really hard for with auto and renter's insurance. Talk to an agent today. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only. And by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon.
Giants nothing. The Nationals coming to bat here at Nationals Park. And the batting order now for the Nationals brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Andrew Stevenson, right field. Wilmer Defoe, shortstop. Daniel Murphy back in there after getting game 1 off, hitting .328. Leads the league in doubles. Ryan Zimmerman, first base. Anthony Rendon, who had a home run in game 1, is at third. Kendrick in left. Wieters, the catcher. Taylor in center. Scherzer, the pitcher, batting ninth against Matt Moore, who has a strike to Stevenson. Pablo plays shallow at third. Stevenson, a very fast runner. And it's strike 2 call. Well, you know how tough Moore can be when he's on. And he's had a very inconsistent year, to say the least, this year. And the curveball, pop foul and out of play. Well, the people who paid for tickets for the Friday night game, game 1 of this series, this is the makeup game here on Sunday night, so those tickets are good for this game. It does not appear that many people availed themselves of the opportunity. I'm sure they had well over 30,000 tickets sold for that Friday game, as Stevenson is down on strikes. 1 away.
Matt Moore's numbers not up to par with probably what he thinks would be a good year either. 5.88 ERA. He's searching to find it. 128 innings pitched. 155 hits, 50 walks. The hits to innings pitch ratio is probably the most concerning. 294 batting average against 20 homers allowed. Basically just saying he's a little erratic in the middle of the strike zone.
Pence on the run after it into the corner and to foul ground. And apparently he disappeared from our view out there and was not able to make the catch. I don't know if he had it and couldn't hold it. He got real close to that wall that comes out close to the foul line. Here's a look at it. Ooh. Wow. It was almost a spectacular catch, but once he bumped into that sidewall, it popped out. So Defoe is still alive.
Matt Moore's pitch usually 54% fastball, 17% curve. Those are the two pitches you're going to see a lot from him. Curveball will be a big pitch for him against this ball club, as we saw earlier with Stratton. I think it's going to be the same for him tonight.
Here's Tomlinson from the hole, and he wouldn't have gotten him anyway. He really just doesn't have the arm with a real fast guy like Defoe from the hole over there.
Giants defense in game 2. From left to right, Parker, Span, Pence back in right field. Third to first, Sandoval, Tomlinson now in for Crawford, Panic, Jones, and Buster playing catching tonight. Matt Moore is pitching.
Now Daniel Murphy hitting .328. $19 homers and leading the league with 35 doubles. Now there's Jones, the second one. Tomlinson back to first and not in time. Moore was there, but Jones also got back to the bag. So 2 down, and he's gotten 2 left-handed hitters in this inning. Lefties have given him a lot of trouble this year.
See, Jones just looks so comfortable making that play. That play is not, we talked about it a little bit last night, but that play is not as easy as what he makes it look like. Takes some pretty good angles on that, and he gets the lead runner. Getting the lead runner in these situations is what you want to try to do to keep him in a scoring position, and that's his first thought. I really like how he's attacking that ball coming at him.
Strike one to Ryan Zimmerman. Powerful first baseman for the Nationals. Zimmerman with 26 homers, 82 runs batted in, a .307 average, and he hits lefties particularly well. 2 down, runner at first. And a big rip and a foul back out of play.
Time for Nissan keys to the game. Get to Scherzer early. You have to get to him early and attack his fastball. If he gets into a rhythm, he's going to give you problems. And more, if you can replicate Stratton's location like he did like we saw the first game, you will see similar results, I believe, when it comes to the fastball curveball locations.
1-2. Moore has the reverse kind of splits in the statistical Mavens vernacular. He has been better against right-handed hitters than lefties this year, which and that's not the way it works, but that is the way it has worked with him. More left-handed hitters are hitting .396 against Moore this year. Right-handed hitters .257. And that's what happened with him against the Cubs earlier this week in San Francisco. Cubs lefties as a group were 6 for 10. He just couldn't get them out.
That comes from not getting that curveball down and not able to get the fastball in. He's kind of pulling his fastball across the plate, and that's coming more bearing into righties, and he can jam them a little bit better, but he can't seem to get it into lefties, so he's pushing that ball up and away from lefties, and they can see it a lot better and slap them the other way a lot.
Back out of play. 2-2 the count to the dangerous Ryan Zimmerman. Anthony Rendon on deck, would be next with 2 down in the inning. But he did retire Stevenson on a strikeout, and he got Daniel Murphy, one of the best left-handed hitters in the league, on the force out. Murphy is the runner at first right now. It's not been a good season, to say the least, for Matt Moore, but a chance in the final few weeks to have a strong finish. That was a line drive into center field, base hit. That was hit very hard. He got to Denard Span very quickly out there. Murphy the second holding.
Well, Zimmerman usually hits lefties well. You leave balls over the plate to him, it's going to happen. There's that little kind of that cutter that he throws, and he tried to start it back door, but he leaves it up. That ball's not down, coming back down. It's kind of coming back middle away, and he likes to go with that pitch, and he sees that pitch very, very well, and he did what he needed to do. He just kind of hit a single up the middle. Damage control there. It could have been a lot worse. Moore has 2 outs. He just needs to try to retire Rendon here and without any damage.
Rendon, who counted for the Nationals' runs in Game 1 with a 2-run homer in the 8th inning against Hunter Strickland. And it's ball 1, too low. Anthony Rendon, another National, having an excellent year, hitting .302, 22 homers, 76 batted in. Also a .405 on base average. 2 on, 2 out. Along the right field line, Jones into foul ground. He's called off by Panic. Inning over. 2 hits, 2 left. Buster Posey is coming up, then Pablo Sandoval.
Hour left, a little over that, to get one-of-a-kind auction items from Metallica Night at the ballpark. The guitars James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett used to perform the national anthem is available. Baseball and music items autographed by Buster and the full Metallica band. For more info or to bid, visit sfgiants.com/GCF. Again, you have about an hour. This supports fundraisers in the Giants Community Fund and Buster and Kristen Posey's fundraiser for pediatric cancer research at the V Foundation. It's a good cause, John. Did you go to that last year? Buster's thing?
No.
Man, it was an awesome event.
Here's the Jeep drive of the game. Going back to the 2012 World Series. Game 4, Buster Posey against Max Scherzer. And this was a big home run down the left field line, top of the 6th inning. And that broke a 2-2 tie and gave the Giants the lead. In fact, it would put the Giants ahead when they had been behind. It was actually 2-1 Detroit, and it was a 2-run shot against Scherzer in that 6th inning. Buster facing Scherzer here. He's 2 for 9 lifetime, including that World Series against Scherzer. And that breaking ball in there for a strike. That home run in the World Series is the only one the Buster's ever hit against Scherzer. Scherzer does give up the long ball. He's allowed 18 home runs this year in 154 in the 3rd innings. And a foul on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Scherzer's numbers this year, it's like he's getting better the older he gets. He's still got the great stuff, but 154 in the third innings, only 92 hits allowed. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he seems to be getting smarter. That's what Maddox and Smoltz and all those guys kind of showed as they got older. They seem to pitch smarter. Scherzer doesn't seem like he's losing a beat out there either with his stuff. He's using more pitches in different counts. He keeps it guessing. He never gets into patterns. He's just using some of his veteran status and what he's learned, putting it to work.
And the changeup, the bat flies out of Buster's hands into the crowd. That was a long bat throw as Buster Posey strikes out.
Oh, it's a tug-of-war match. Gave it to him. Nice work. Oh, the handshake. See the handshake right there, John? That was nice. That was a valiant effort. Good tug-of-war battle. There it is. It's mine. No, it's mine. Dad was kind of in on there for a little bit and let him go at it. And they took it from him.
So here is Pablo Sandoval with a count of 1 ball and no strikes. Now that ball is hit well, right center field. Stevenson on the run, gets there. He tracked it down in deep right center. Well hit by Pablo, but into an out. So 2 down. Now they're going to send another bat. Usually they send another bat up there. That's Buster's gamer. A lot of guys like to have their gamers so they can keep using it in games.
Yep. Especially if he had just kind of broken it out and gotten it all ready and taken care of. Usually, yeah, they send up another bat kind of like it just to give it to him.
Call strike 1 to Jones.
Also on a road trip, you know, at home it can be a little different at times because you have all your bats, but on a road trip you don't have as many of your bats with you. So, you know, you want to try to protect as many of those as possible while you're on the road.
I like the way Ichiro would do it on a road trip. He has special cases. Each bat would go into its own case.
Mizuno, man, they like to take care of their bats.
Left field, Kendrick, and the Giants are gone in order. Kendrick will be coming up against Moore.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions.
It's the Giants nothing and the Nationals nothing as we start the last half of the second inning at Nationals Park. Second game of the doubleheader. And a called strike from Matt Moore to Howie Kendrick. Little cutter on the outside. Kendrick has been hurt for quite a bit this year, but when he's been healthy, he's hit real well. .345 batting average. The veteran, and a foul off the right field line. Kendrick is 34 years old now. 12th year in the major leagues. He was a draft choice in the June draft 15 years ago. Foul tip, and that is all for Kendrick. Second strikeout for Matt Moore. You think that's really his beard?
I'd say no.
It's a good look, though. I can see why he wants to wear it. So is he, what is he, a Jason Worth fan?
I'm thinking that's it. I think that beard is probably a little bit hotter than Jason Worth's beard is, but
that's a fair ball. Pablo could not come up with it. The throw by Parker. The tag. Out.
Great relay by Parker right there. Came up spinning and firing. That was a great play. Pablo looked a little slow to the line, but almost like he thought he was going to have it, and it rolled right by him. Saw Pablo drop his head. Parker did not hesitate. He got over there as quick as he possibly could. Turned and fired and made a perfect throw to Panic. I mean, this is on the money. Spin and throw, one hop. Panic gets the glove down.
Wieters, he just went right on by the bag there.
He did. Wieters like just kind of ran off like he thought he was out, and they're checking this, but I think they decided that he was in fact out. Good break for the Giants right there.
He was on the bag at one point, but he was not on the bag for very long. So a single for Wieters and thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double by Jarrett Parker. Two down, nobody on. Taylor, that's high and deep along the left field line, hooking and foul. They have had enough distance to be a home run. 336 to the foul pole along the left field line.
Another look at this tag. He actually gets the foot to the bag, but he bounces off the bag. And Panic puts his glove on him and holds it just enough to get him as he comes off the bag there.
And really, because of the throw by Parker, it's a fadeaway slide where he's trying to avoid the tag to the outfield side of the bag, and he succeeded, except he just couldn't quite stay in the bag.
Yep, came off the bag. That's why they're starting to tell the infielders now to hold the glove on the body the entire time. Don't pop the glove. They used to just kind of slap the body real quick, and now because of replay, they're having them hold the glove on the body in case they pop off just like that.
Taylor, powerful right-handed hitter, just back for the disabled list. Now on the run, here comes Parker. No, and Tomlinson then kicks it away. Taylor's a very fast runner, and he gets to second easily, and was thinking about more. And Kelby Thompson got that look in his face like, what? And he just kept going and going and going out there. He, I think, got closer to it than did Parker, but then he kicked it away from himself and from everybody else.
Makes that play Parker just made obviously all that more important. Saves a run.
You know, that throw by Parker, that's the third outfield assist that he's had in what, about 2 weeks or less.
The more he plays out there, the word will get around. Guys will stop running on him like that.
Now Scherzer with Taylor at second. Scherzer is, for the year, batting .217. So you, especially in a spot like this, you got to pitch to him like a hitter. He got a home run and 5 runs batted in. By the way, Taylor gets credit for a single, and then Tomlinson gets charged with an error for allowing him to get to second base.
Looking up at the scoreboard, Scherzer's hitting 217. He might be one of the first pitchers that I've seen to date. I'm going to be wrong because I'm obviously not very good at trivia, just like you, John. But to date, I don't know many guys that have a higher batting average as a hitter than they do hitters versus them on the mound.
Well, the pitcher hits better than all the hitters combined who face him, but not this time for Scherzer. No score. It's brought to you by your California Ford dealers. 2 years ago, 2 down, 9th inning, he had a perfect game, and then that pitch hit Jose Tabata of the Pirates, and it upset a lot of people because it looked like Tabata allowed it to hit him. In fact, moved the elbow in to get hit. No matter, you got the next hitter, Josh Harrison, on the fly ball to Taylor, and that was the no-hitter. And when he was asked about it afterward, and this was an endearing comment by Scherzer to me, and I think to a lot of people, he said the guy did exactly what he should do. I made a bad pitch. It was way inside, and you're supposed to try to get on base, so it hit him, and that was it. I didn't deserve the perfect game. I was thrilled to get the no-hitter, though.
Yeah, it's a good comment. I do feel like I understand what he's saying there, but if you watch the replay, he stuck his elbow out over probably close to the plate and then leaned into it, which technically is not allowed in baseball, even though hitters will try to do it. But
technically, but not according to any umpire who is currently working, apparently.
right.
I mean, how many times did you hit a guy who not only did not try to get out of the way, which is what the rule book says, but actually kind of moved into the way of it?
Yeah, I've hit several of them. You know, Chase Utley did it one time to me after we brawled with them in 2013 and leaned in with his helmet to take a curveball off the helmet, and the umpire told him to get back in the box, and he called it a strike.
Ooh. Jared Parker fouls out to the left fielder. Kendrick, one away.
But I think that's the only time I've seen it, and they used to, especially on curveballs, they usually try to stick their elbow out all the time, you know. And I think it's the same as the letter high fastball over the middle of the plate that umpires all call balls, even though in the rule book it's a strike. You know, like, I think it's the same thing. They don't really like to.
Well, it's not in the rule book now, a letter high pitch.
They probably erased it.
It's 2 baseballs above the belt.
It still isn't called. It's unbelievable.
There's a foul out of play off to the right by Tomlinson. 0-0 in the 3rd inning. One of the most famous incidents, or I guess if you're a Giants fan at the time, infamous incidents. When Don Drysdale had, that's ruled a swing, by the way, by first base umpire Jerry Mills, when Don Drysdale had the consecutive scoreless inning streak going, the one that was later broken by Oral Hershiser. Against the Giants with the bases loaded, I think it was Dick Dietz got hit by the pitch. to force in a run, end of streak. And the plate umpire said, no, you didn't try to get out of the way. Get back here.
See, so it can happen. So they should all learn and say that it can happen, it should happen. You got to get out of the way.
Pretty ferocious argument with some ejections after that. And Drysdale went another few innings after that, continuing on with his consecutive scoreless inning streak. But it's in the rule book. 1-2. Kelby Tomlinson getting the start at shortstop. Matt Moore on deck. Giants have not yet gotten a man on base against Scherzer. Scherzer's one of those guys whose stuff is so good that you always think, well, he might go out and pitch a no-hitter tonight. And that's pretty good work by Tomlinson to fight that one off. When the Giants faced Scherzer in San Francisco back on May 31st, they did not get a hit against him until the 4th inning of that game, and it was Eduardo Nunez got the hit, and somewhere in there left fielder Jason Worth lost a fly ball in the lights. That is strike 3 call. 3rd strikeout for Scherzer.
Here's this fast. Oh man, from up here it looked like a fastball in, but that was a slider. It looked like a top bottom curveball, but it's probably a slider that he kind of got around. He wanted it to go away, and he kind of left it inside, and it froze him, just like a couple of Stratton's breaking balls to righties today. Kind of froze them when you leave it arm side. You're diving out. It's a tough pitch to hit. The backup slider, I think, is one of the toughest pitches to hit in the game, because a righty sees it as a backup slider, and he thinks he sees it as slider in, it kind of break over the plate and it stays straight for a strike, and they just can't, you can't pull the trigger on it. It's kind of one of those pitches that if you can throw it and get lucky enough to throw it on the inside part of the plate, you can freeze a lot of guys on it.
1-1 to Matt Moore. Matt Moore's had 5 hits, 36 at bats. He's knocked in 4 runs. 2-1 the count. Nationals have 4 hits against Moore already, but no runs. The Giants have not had a base runner. It's a pretty good swing, though, by Matt Moore.
Good healthy cut right there.
Speaking. Here it is.
Saw him all the way. Ooh. Threw his hands at it. Thought he hit a homer. Until he found out it was foul behind him.
A reverse home run.
Cricket.
Well, that's a pretty good job of fighting that one off. If it's a pitcher, we get impressed. Just because he swung well.
Yeah. You foul off. If you have a 7-pitch at bat, I say that's as good as a hit. You should have a batting average.
2-2 the count. And look at that. He just kind of spit on that changeup, didn't he? I mean, how many guys have been swinging and missing with that changeup so far tonight? Not Matt Moore.
The league, 116. Matt Moore's like, I got you on that.
3-2. First in there was that one right down. All right, well, we got a lot of pitches out of it. Day with the Fightin' Phils coming into town, and on Saturday the 19th, it's a 6:05 start. The first 40,000 fans attending this Saturday will receive a Virgin America 2-for-1 voucher. The offer is valid on Virgin America and Alaska Airlines flights. Restrictions apply. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com. Giants nothing, Washington nothing. Last of the third inning. On a beautiful night. This is one of those summer nights. If you live around here, you savor a day and an evening like this. Because this time of year, August, the dog days, are you kidding? It gets so hot and so humid here that people, they just leave town. They can't sell out these games in August because 90% of the people who live here, they're out of town right now.
Yeah, it's too muggy, too hot, but this is a beautiful night. I mean, you can, like you said earlier, I think the storm's all pushed out of here, and it's just a really nice, cool evening. Good for baseball. You know, it's good. We should have played 2 games today. So good.
Or 3.
I mean, yeah, we could go with that too. We could go 3. We should talk to the league about that.
Let's see, the Giants and Nationals finished last night's game at 1:17 a.m. this morning. And he broke off a sharp curveball. And now he's claiming that he foul tipped it. And the plate umpire, Chris Conroy, said, no. Come on.
No begging. No begging. No begging. Ball hit the ground, buddy.
He missed that one by at least 8 inches.
Yeah. The reason that ball hit the ground is because he swung at a ball that hit the dirt. It doesn't count. Okay.
Well, Dusty believes his guy.
He's fighting for him.
Don't show Dusty the video from that side angle. So 1 away. That's 4 strikeouts for Matt Moore, including Stevenson twice. Here is Wilmer Defoe. Defoe, the second place hitter, got an infield hit his first time in the dirt. 0-0. Last of the third here in game 2. The Giants won game 1 4-2. Back of Chris Stratton. Joe Panik had 3 hits, 2 batted in. The Giants jumped ahead with a 3-run second inning and led the rest of the way. Stratton went 6 2/3, no runs, 5 hits, and 10 strikeouts. There's Stratton. Nick Hundley was his catcher for game 1, sitting alongside. Made a pretty good duo in game 1. That's a called strike. So it's 2-1 now to Defoe. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. Now Pablo backed up at third and he bunted, but it was Moore who was able to get to it. So Defoe got a little bit too close to the mound that time. 2 down. Dave Fleming over in the KNBR radio booth. He'll be moving over here in the NBC Sports Bay Area booth come the 4th inning. I gotta start packing up. What am I thinking over here?
Packing up to catch our flight, or you coming back after the 6th?
I can't miss that flight tonight, Jeremy. I have to get out of here early. And a called strike to Daniel Murphy now. 2 down, nobody on. 0-0. Last of the third. So when this game started at 7:05, that was 21 hours after last night's game started. This is the 3rd game for the Giants and Nationals in 21 hours. Now we haven't quite played for an hour yet. That's a lot of games in a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah, these guys are going to be pretty tired on the plane, and they're not going to get into Miami necessarily all that early tonight. They got to play a game tomorrow.
I think the best thing is to fly to Miami, land. Probably, I think they're not going to land till what, 2:30, 3 o'clock at the earliest, and go right to the Marlins ballpark, dress and play.
Yeah, might as well get it all out of the way.
They're doing well with that kind of action.
Well, with us being so high and we really can't see anything down there because we're so high, we should have flown to Miami and had them do the feed to the hotel, and we could have done the commentating from the Miami hotel, maybe on the beach. It'd have been the same thing, really.
Well, to tell the truth, in this booth, we do the whole game off the TV monitors as it is.
Yeah. We don't need to be here. We could have been in Miami. I'm putting that request in for next year.
Could have had some stone crabs.
Stone crabs.
2-2 the count.
Some tuna.
That ball is hit well. Deep left center. Still going. It is gone. An opposite field home run for Daniel Murphy, his 20th home run this year. And that's the first run of the game.
Very impressive. He just hits lefties so well. He doesn't bail on them. He does a good job of just staying on the ball and staying through it and going with the pitch, and he's showing power. Here's the pitch. Buster wants it away. He covers middle up. I mean, that has been an issue for Matt all year, of that ball he's trying to get away, and he leaves it middle up, and that's why lefties are hitting so good off him, is that ball is cutting away from the barrel, almost into the big part of the barrel, away from the hands, excuse me, and they can lift it and hit it hard, and that's kind of why the lefties have had so much success against it this year. That curveball, I've actually done that. I've actually let curveballs go like that. Zimmerman kind of looked at that ball and was kind of like, what just happened? And it just seems like it popped out of his hand. I don't know if it's slick or what, but a lot of times that's your hand dragging. You'll see right here, that's a fastball that he got hit out for a homer, but I don't know if we have that curveball that we can show that he just threw, but it definitely came out way too early. And sometimes guys over-accelerate, and it pops out early on you. Here's that pitch. Curveball just comes right up, and I mean, it hit the screen on the fly. I mean, they're clapping. That's impressive. Even though those guys love it. It's nice. Hey, that's just as good as a scud, John. You're gonna throw one. You might as well throw one like that in from time to time.
I'm much more impressed with that one than your scuds. Sure, anybody could bounce it 7 feet in front of the plate. Dave Fleming's coming over from the radio side. 1-0 Washington. Is back on NBCSportsBayArea.com, brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. The Giants Insider Podcast with Alex
Pavlovich on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Also available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. And they'll probably add about 9 other apps for Here I'm On 2 here shortly. And with me, Dave Fleming, again, deja vu, Dave.
You again. We're back.
Miller's claiming he's just going to go catch the plane right now. I think he's tired of me.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
You guys are awesome. So encouraging.
Yeah. Just like your old teammates, right? Always positive. I will say the two of you, you and John, you've had a lot of time between all the rain delays and now a doubleheader. This weekend, the two of you must have gotten close.
We bonded. We had some cuddles before last game. I got a picture of it before it went on.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of had a, need to take a slight nap on his shoulder. Like a little grandfather and grandson moment. No offense, John.
Uncle. Like Uncle John.
Let's go Uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle John. My fault.
Grandpa John.
Oh, man.
Well, now he gets to go talk to himself. Span, top that one 2-2. How about, I know you guys talked about it. How impressive the swing by Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, well, we were just saying he hits lefties so well, but to hit the ball with power, the opposite, that's a big part of the ballpark for a lefty to hit that ball to. And I tell you, man, he has really shown a lot. He was pretty good with the Mets, but since he's come over here, he's gone to a completely different level as a hitter. He's dangerous.
2-2 to the former Nat. Span kind of squibs that one. Not an easy play. Rendon, not in time. That's a hit for Denard Span.
Well, there goes your no-hitter.
That is the first one for Max Scherzer. How about that? Good effort by Rendon.
Yeah, great play, barehanding it. Kind of looks like Span almost got him. Zimmerman kind of looked back at him like, you almost got me right there. Oh, see that?
Yeah.
He's like, I couldn't. Did he get him a little bit right there?
Must have, right?
Yeah.
That was a strange reaction. Unless Zimmerman is just thinking about the no-hit possibility. Forget that. That's a fair ball.
Now we might have a shutout broken up.
Span to third. He'll get the stop sign. Ball comes back into Zimmerman. Well, with nobody out and the middle of the order coming up, Phil Nevin decides to be conservative there, and I think it's the right choice in this spot. Second and third, no outs.
Yeah, good call by Phil, and Span almost ran through it, but really good job by Nevin reading that, because I think he would have been out. It was a good relay throw. I think he would have been out by about 10 feet. Well, 9.5. He's a little faster than me, so probably 9.5 feet.
He's got you by a half a foot on 200, over 270 feet. He gets you by about a half a foot.
Half foot. No.
Here's Pence. I do agree with you. It's a good decision. And Joe Panic keeps his good swing going.
Yeah, even in the first inning, he hit that ball. He squared up that ball, and the guy kind of made a bad route, but it could have been a double there, too. So I like Joe's swing right now. He seems really comfortable. He doesn't seem like anybody can overmatch him. He's well balanced. I mean, this is the best pitcher in the game, pretty much. And he doesn't seem uncomfortable at all against what he's throwing at him.
Squared him up twice. You're right. Now Pence, the challenge will be for him to try to get the bat on the ball here. Scherzer pitching for a strikeout in a pure strikeout spot. And he does get the bat on the ball. Even better than that. Base hit into center field. Panic coming around. Taylor's throw. And the tag. He got him. Wow.
He got him right in the head on the tag. That's going to rattle him a little bit because of how hard he was running. But it was a good throw. I didn't think they had any chance to get him right there. And they got him, but it was kind of an awkward deal for both the catcher, for Wieters and Panic.
The Giants tie it up, but the first down in the inning at home plate, and now we just hope that Panic's okay.
Yeah, he almost pretty much got clothesline. Wieters holding on to that ball is even impressive, and he just kind of, I think that was just, that's too bad. That looks like it kind of, that hurt pretty good.
He basically punched him right in the face.
Weeders was checking to see if the ball was in his glove. I mean, the ball hit the glove at the same time that it hit Panic's head. I think Weeders was just going out to catch the ball, and he hit Panic at the same time. It was
almost like an accidental tag. The throw took him right into Panic. And now Buster Posey, and it's disappointing. You can understand in that instance Nevin sending him, but you hate to make that first out with your best hitter coming up. After Pence came through with the base hit to tie it up. So now Buster, who has always had good at bats, it seems, against Max Scherzer, had a long at bat his first time up, ended up striking out. 1-1.
He's using the changeup against him, so he struck him out with the first inning, but it almost looks like he's going to continue throwing it. Because a few looks of all the pitches that Scherzer's thrown at him that Buster's looked off, it seems to be the changeup. Not really a good sign at any time you see the head trainer head down the tunnel where Panic's at.
Yeah, run up to say something and then run back down. Makes you sort of fear, saying, well, you got to get somebody else ready to get in there. Posey almost got hit. 2-1.
That ball literally got there at the same time. The ball might have actually hit him.
I mean, it's possible. It is possible that the ball hit him.
It did hit him and put it right into his glove.
It's almost like the throw ricocheted, and I don't know. We'd have to see it again, and maybe we'll never be able to see quite that close. But it's almost like the ball ricocheted off his face into the catcher's mitt, which I can say that I don't believe I've ever seen.
I've never seen that. I mean, look, you'll see it hit him. I think it did hit him.
I think it did. I think it hit him, and that's the only reason that Weeders caught it. And that's in a season where a lot has gone wrong for the Giants. That might take the cake.
That is unbelievable.
That's 1 in a million.
I tell you, I don't like to ever say stuff like that, but if that ball hit him in the head first, I mean, he's had concussion symptoms, and that can rattle you again. And if you lose a guy like Joe Panic to a potential concussion system because of that, again, that's just the worst. I mean, the season for these guys is just, it's just getting more and more awkward. Hopefully nothing, but
that would make you think he's not going to continue in this game. 3-2 to Posey. I mean, he had his now teammate Matt Moore hit him in the helmet with a curveball last year, and Panic missed a long time. I mean, weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah, he did. You're right. I mean, and he played the rest of that game, and he hit a homer in that game. And then all of a sudden, after the game, he was dizzy and rattled. And
I think he even played a couple days later.
Oh, did he?
And then finally admitted that he wasn't feeling right. In fact, I think he told us after the fact that the Giants came back home. He was playing second base. A pop-up went up in the air. He looked up to go track it and couldn't see anything, and had no idea where the ball was. And at that moment, thought, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be out here.
With the brain and rest. It took him a while to come back last year from that.
It did. Posey fouled that one off. Slider that was up, but Buster was out in front. Almost like a changeup, so it stays full 3-2. Well, we can hope for the best with Joe Panic, but I have never seen that. I've never seen anything quite like that. I mean, sometimes you see a throw hit a player, but to hit a player and carry him right into the glove, into a tag, into an out on a play at the plate, never.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Foul ball.
Buster, he's got to be one of the best guys at hitting with 2 strikes and full counts. I mean, it's almost like he has the ability. such a good ability to take a pitch that he knows he can't do much with, but he knows it's probably a strike. He's like, I need to just foul it off just to kind of get another one. And he just battles so many guys. You don't see a lot of, you know, good morning, good afternoon, good night at bats for pitchers against him.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat. Pence is running. Posey skies one way up there, but right out in front of the plate. Who's going to make the call? Defoe up and over the mound. 2 down.
That was a pitch that I think if Buster could have back, he'd love to have it back, because he spun that one almost like a cement mixer over the middle of the plate, just under it, popping it up, maybe a little out in front of it. So you see here, it just kind of hung there for him, and you can see he was just not happy he missed that ball.
With 2 outs, here's Pablo. He has had a quiet doubleheader so far. Hit a ball hard his first time up tonight, but it was caught by Stevenson in right field. Giants have a run across. They've tied the game. Pence at first with 2 outs. Pablo right back up the middle, but right where the defense is playing it. An inning where a totally bizarre play makes it just 1 run. Giants tie it up.
On NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers. And by PenFed Credit Union. Do better with your money at PenFed. It's easy to apply and no military service required. Apply today at PenFed.org.
Well, the Giants have tied the game up here in Washington, D.C. 1-1 at Nationals Park. Game 2 of the day. Giants have a chance for a doubleheader sweep. And, wow, what great news that Joe Panik is still in this game. Now, you can tell he's got a contusion or some sort of bruise on the left side of his face. And I think he's in some pain, but presumably that would mean no concussion or no concussion symptoms for Joe Panik after really one of the strangest plays that I can ever remember seeing.
Yeah, I mean, in the commercial break, we went over looking at all the angles, and I swear that ball still hit him in the concussion area, in the temple area, which could have concussed him, but it almost maybe the ball hit the glove first and then the temple and then back in the glove. You know, it just kind of was so quick and so much at one time that maybe he got lucky. And I mean, it's really good to see Joe out there, because that could have been really nasty.
I mean, you watch it like that, just watch it once, and you're not looking at it real closely. You think, well, not good. Rendon hit it right to Panik.
Of course he did.
Panik made the play, one away.
But here's this look here. It just looks, you can see the ball. I think it might have hit off the glove first. That might have helped helped out right there. But you see that ball does come out of the glove into the face.
Yeah, he is. He's checking himself. And you know, look, we're sitting up here. Dave Greshner and the Giants are more careful and cautious about concussions than maybe any other organization in sports with the history that the Giants have had over the last decade plus. So Panik went through the whole concussion protocol. He would not be on the field if he had not passed that. For now, that's good news. That doesn't mean that forever those concussion symptoms are going to stay away, but maybe he dodged a bullet there. Hope so.
Yeah, maybe it hit him more in the cheek area, which I don't know if that helps or not, but I would think it would help a little bit. But
Kendrick, a guy who's hit right around 350 for the year, has struck out twice in 2 at-bats against Matt Moore. And the nuance of that play, and here's the guy who put the tag on, it's certainly not Wieder's fault, was when you watch it first you think, oh man, bad luck. The ball arrived, Wieder's grabbed it out of the air, tagged him in the face, kind of punched him in the face, not intentionally, but the ball, not just the glove, with the velocity from the throw, whether it was on a ricochet or not, also hit Panik as he came in with his slide in the side of the face. 2-0 to Wieters.
yeah, Wieters don't even put the tag on him. I think he just stuck the glove out to catch the ball.
I do too. That's a strike, 2-1.
I still think Joe's trying to give himself little tests out there. It looks like he's kind of doing different things with his eyes, you know, looking around at different things. Trying to evaluate himself out there. I don't know if they're going to leave him in this game the whole time. I think Dave has a pretty good view from the dugout right there, and he's going to be watching him the whole time. But I think Joe wants to be out there more than anything.
3-2.
The way he's been swinging the bat, you can see he probably wants to be out there and hit and help this team win as many games as they can. But
on the ground, Tomlinson. And Matt Moore has a nice 1-2-3 inning. Ryder Jones, then Jared Parker coming up. Hopefully Joe's okay. 1-1 the score. stories on this date in 2004, Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. I remember this one. JT Snow, 3 home runs off Brett Myers, off Amari Telemaco. And then in the 7th, already a multiple home run game. He took Telemaco deep again. That was our first trip in to the new Citizens Bank Park. First 3 home run game by a Giant other than Barry Bonds since Kevin Mitchell in 1990. And JT and the Giants walked out of that series against the Phillies thinking, this is a good place to hit, this new ballpark.
Fight to the bat rack there.
That was the first year of Citizens Bank Park. And that was a memorable one. Always great to see JT. He was at the yard this last homestand for the 1997 Giants team reunion.
It's when all 12 pitchers on the Phillies staff were demanding a trade by the trade deadline.
They were not thrilled with the new dimensions. Jones strikes out against Scherzer. Hey, speaking of the Phillies.
Yeah, join us at the ballpark Thursday, August 17th through Sunday the 20th. Thursday and Friday, normal 7:15 start. Saturday, special 6:05 start. And Sunday the 20th, enjoy summertime baseball with a 1:05 start. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com. And Sunday's Fruit and Kite Soft Day. Pretty excited for that.
It's like when we used to say, we went into LA and they would do the Bonds chant, and we used to say, oh, they love Barry's socks.
Yeah.
Fruit and Kite socks.
Oh man, I'm definitely getting those. I'm sporting those.
Parker takes a strike. It's 1-1. I think Jared would like to get a hit here, don't you think?
Yeah, he for his own mindset, so he can sleep tonight. I think he needs to get a knock at some point in time.
When you have a doubleheader, your manager tells you you're going to get to play both games. You're thinking, man, I got a chance to get 4, 5, 6 hits in a day.
Or 1. Let's just go for 1.
Sometimes you have to lower your sights a little bit and say, let's get the 1.
And it can be well. Some hitters, they worry about that, and they say, man, you can come out of a doubleheader like on fire and excited, or you can come out of there like, man, I'm the worst player ever. You know, it mess with you.
Well, I know for me, whenever there's a real long extra inning game or a doubleheader day, I immediately go to the box score, and it's not just to find out, oh, who went 6 for 8 in the 19-inning game, who went 0 for 8.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just sort of natural curiosity. 3-2. He's thrown out a runner on the bases again.
Yeah, he's definitely not letting his at-bats affect his defensive play. He's saved a run for him. Wait, first inning or second inning? Saved a run for him.
Second. He kind of flares that one. Bat did not survive that swing. 3-2. Found a veteran. No, don't throw it back.
No, yeah.
New bat. Maybe this will be the one. Giants 1, Nationals 1 in the 5th inning. It is pitch number 70 for Scherzer. Struck him out. Yeah, that is a hard biting slider.
Yeah, he's been using that pitch a lot more this year than I think he has in other years. He's always had a good one, but it seems like he's going to that because it's so hard at 89. I mean, that's almost like a cut fastball type of a slider, and then he's got the 95 in the tank, and then he's been throwing that good changeup just right on top of the plate. You know, he's got, I don't think he would tell you that he doesn't have a feel for his pitches today. I think he's doing pretty good.
Tomlinson right off the end of the bat. Strike 1. Well, if he wins the Cy Young this year, and with Kershaw out, I mean, I think it was sort of a debate between those two. Kershaw hurt. I mean, there are other candidates, not like those are the only two, but Scherzer seems to me to be the clear favorite. And that would be 2 in a row, and the 3rd of his career. He won the Cy Young in the American League with the Tigers. Be 2 in a row with the Nationals. He also has a chance for something very rare. We don't get many 300 strikeout seasons, and he's got a real chance for that.
I think he should win the Cy Young just because his batting average is higher than all the hitters that try to hit off him is.
Yeah, that you're going good when that's the case. Coming into tonight, the batting average against 170. Here's his 1-2. Struck him out. Struck out the side. He's got 7 through 5 innings. The Giants and the Nats tied at 1. Togo's play, Togo's big play, the Togo's way, and we're going to highlight Chris Stratton from earlier today, Jeremy.
He should be. That thing is nasty right there. That curveball he threw today, he threw a lot of them, and he pretty much told those guys it was coming, and they cannot lay off it, and they couldn't touch it. It was a good day for Chris Stratton.
I would say the best of his big league career. Really impressive stuff.
I mean, he just struck out 10 guys on the #1 offensive team in the game. And granted, he didn't have Harper and Murphy in there, but I honestly, with that kind of curveball, I mean, I don't know if it would have mattered if those guys were in there. I think Murphy was like, sweet. I saved myself an 0 for 4 day by not playing, but
Michael Taylor takes the big swing down the left field line toward the corner and beyond the reach of Parker. The wind helped push that foul, gives Michael Taylor at least another pitch. Right in the popcorn. Didn't bring a glove, but I brought this.
they will get popcorn buckets for the rest of their lives when they come to games.
It's good luck. Good changeup. Bryce Harper or Daniel Murphy. And to your point about Chris Stratton's performance, just to finish that thought, a couple of the big hitters were not in there, but 1-2 struck him out. Pitch from Matt Moore. round number 1. And you still had Rendon and Zimmerman, and those guys had terrible looking swings against Stratton all game. Adam Lind, who looked so good 2 nights ago, they had swings like this.
Yep. He had swing and miss stuff. Zimmerman, I think, he threw a changeup that Stratton threw him, I think, at one point, and he almost looked up like, hey, great pitch, man. I like it.
Scherzer to shallow center, panic and span. It'll be Denard who makes the catch. 2 down.
And when you get big league hitters that are doing as well as they're doing, swinging and missing like they are, and they kind of almost tipping their hat at you, like, hey, that's a good pitch. You have to feel good, walking away from that outing, and almost to an outing where it's like you go to the video guy and it's like, hey, I want that thing on my iPad because I need to remember what I did when I started struggling, because that is what he needs to do to be very significant in the starting rotation for the Giants. Hopefully next year, a few years to come.
2 down, curveball misses away to Stevenson. Yeah, lots of encouraging stuff. Stevenson has not had much of a shot against Matt Moore in this one. 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. Wow. I mean, you don't see big league hitters miss a pitch by that much.
Yeah, it's a real sharp late curveball. And I don't know, maybe it's being on the East Coast and the air's a little more humid. I mean, I know it's humid in San Francisco too, but it just seems like both Stratton and Moore, their curveballs tonight are just like off the table. They're good.
Really good. He goes back to it. I would. Stevenson just fighting to try to do that. Just barely get a piece of it.
That's all Moore was trying to see, is if a hitter like that keeps swinging at his curveball, I'm going to go a little lower, and the second you back off it, I now know I can't go any lower. Maybe he's starting to see that pitch, and you can actually run that fastball up on his hands, and you can get a lot of punch outs like that too. I don't know what Buster's going to ask for, but
or that fastball. Yeah, 94 right on the corner. How about that?
Yeah, and by him before he even knew what happened.
Another strong inning for Matt Moore. It's 1-1.
AT&T Park on Tuesday, August 22nd. Your special event ticket will give you a Giants Irish flag drawstring bag and a ticket to watch the Giants take on the Brewers. Visit sfgiants.com/special events. Get your special event ticket so you can get that drawstring bag flag. Quite the riddle I had to read. I felt like I was pretty smooth right there with a lot of the flag bag.
Not that easy. Matt Moore drives one to center field, and Michael Taylor tracked it down. Playing shallow for the pitcher. He had to go a long, long way. That was a heck of a play.
The defense for Scherzer tonight behind him, those guys in center and right field, they're taking some pretty good routes that if they mess up at all, there's more than one run being scored for the Giants right now in this game. And the Giants have been putting some pretty good wood on the ball.
That's as far as he can reach. I mean, that's almost like a jumping catch. He's stretched out as far as he could go. Wow. And Michael Taylor back off the DL today has thrown out Panic trying to score and made that play. We got Stevenson, who's made a couple really good plays in right field. Bernard Span, who had an infield hit and scored the only Giants run. There is Panic. We've been watching him closely since truly I'm just at a loss of words how freakish that play was. Basically, Panic caught Michael Taylor's throw at the plate, at a play at the plate with his face.
And he basically, he got himself out essentially, because if he wasn't there, the ball goes to the backstop according to their TV guys.
And I think Wieters at best doesn't catch it. That ball is hit foul. And this is the play we're talking about with Panic. And he was out.
See that ball hit him right. And you know, he might be playing because it hit him in the... Oh, it did.
Look at his contact lens is coming out. That's part of the reason why he's blinking there.
It is.
It was so jarring that it knocked his contact lens out of his eye. Span, a flare. It's going to fall. Base hit. Well, now Panic will come up. He's got such a good swing going.
Yeah, they'll definitely keep an eye on him right here to see how his swings are. It might have been that he just got really, really lucky and maybe how the ball hit him in the perfect spot where it didn't rattle him. But I'm agreeing with you. I would think that the way as sensitive as the Giants are to the concussion test and the symptoms around the concussion, if they felt like he had anything that would even show any red flag, they would have already pulled him out.
He'd be out. He would be out. Well, he and Wieters were definitely talking about it right there. Strike one with the changeup. Panic has hit the ball hard twice tonight. 1 for 2 with a double. And then tried to score on the Pence hit from second base. And that was the play we've been showing you over and over again. Span with his speed at first base. In tight, Panic spins out of the way. Scherzer's tough to run against. Steele could be a big play if Denard could get a jump. It's a tie game. We're in the 6th inning. Curveball was high. 2-2. They put the two games together here today. Panik had leadoff in the Giants Game 1 victory. Had 3 hits plus a walk. Went 3 for 4. So he's 4 for 6 plus a walk. Been on base 5 times in the 2 games. Old teammates. Span goes. The pitch is outside, almost like a pitch out, and the ball waiting for him. 2 down.
Yeah, it's like when he saw him run, he almost put it on a perfect platter for Wieters out there, where he knew he wasn't getting a swing, and he just threw the ball right on the money.
That turned out to be the perfect pitch to throw on. I think Span got a pretty good jump there.
Got a good jump. It just, you're right. He just ended up, man, that was a perfect pitch outside, almost like an abbreviated pitch out.
So whether he meant to do that or not. 2 down. 3-2 to Panik. High, ball 4. So Joe is on base again, the 6th time in basically a game and a half of this doubleheader. 2-out walk. Scherzer doesn't walk many.
Yeah, some guys like to do what Scherzer just did, and I've never really understood that in the middle of an at-bat. You go from the windup, or you're in the stretch, and you throw a 2-2 fastball, but you're in the stretch the whole time, and you end up being 3-2. The guy's out, no one's on base. I'll go back to the windup for the one. A lot of times you're not in the same rhythm, and you can do exactly what he just did there a lot of times and walk the guy, because it's a different pattern in the at bat.
Interesting point. Hunter Pence takes a slider low.
And now you're right back in the stretch again, where you should just, I mean, I just feel like once you get into a rhythm of an at bat right there, it's like, you know what? You know, unless something changes, I don't want to reset anything right now. I'll just stay. Maybe if you're 1-0 or something, but he's 3-2 in the count, you might as well just stay in the stretch. I mean, he's obviously a way better pitcher than I was, so I can't really tell him what to do, but I just never understood why guys switch back and forth.
Put your playoff numbers up against his.
Well, yeah, you're right. Out of the stretch.
2-0. I mean, this is the out that Panik made. So this is his bat at bat in this doubleheader.
Yeah, that should have been a double.
Pretty great play by Stevenson out there. That's the only time that Scherzer has gotten him out. He doubled after that. Now he's walked. Maybe a change up that ran inside, and the count is 3-0. Well, you got Buster on deck. If Pence were to walk, you'd have 2 on and the go-ahead run in scoring position. I think the Giants would take that.
Yeah, their approach on Max tonight is good. I mean, I like it. They threw CG against him last time he faced him, and tonight I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't think so. That's a strike, and Pence can't believe it. That did not have to be.
That was a delayed strike call right there. I think that was a little. That was a gimme call right there by the umpire. It's a ball. I mean, I want it if I was a pitcher, but it is a ball.
There are some umpires, if it's close 3-0, they're going to call it. But you're right, the strike call didn't come right away. 3-1. Same spot almost. 3-2. Maybe just a little lower.
That pitch is probably more of a strike there. It's a pitcher's pitch, though. It's a really hard pitch after Hunter knows that the other one was given to him to throw that same one right there. He definitely is not seeing eye to eye, but that one was a strike. Chris Conroy is not really having much of a conversation when you try to argue with him, I don't think, right now. Just kind of stares at you.
3-2 Panic will take off. There he goes. And Pence tops it foul. Well, Nats fans know this is a big at bat in this game. They know who's on deck. They got their ace on the mound. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat to Hunter Pence, who has singled in the only Giants run. He's 1 for 2. Again, Joe Panic takes off, and he got him. He got him to chase, and Pence isn't happy about the strikes called earlier in the at-bat. Scherzer works around the hit of the walk, 1-1.
On NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. By AAA. Get a free Giants welcome mat. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details. By Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
From Washington, D.C., Nationals Park, Matt Moore and Max Scherzer in a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Moore, that wasn't all that smooth, but he got the job done on one pitch. Wilmer Defoe is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And Matt Moore, despite that little bobble there, has been very smooth overall. This is the best Matt Moore has pitched in a long while.
Yeah, it seems like his pitches are a little more consistent. Buster's not really making a lot of glove movement across the plate like he has been for a lot of this year. I know they had a discussion with him about maybe even skipping his start, and I think the best thing that came out of that is Bochy said no, for him to work through this, he needs to pitch through it. And he's a guy they're going to have next year, and they need to, he needs to work through this stuff and hopefully end the year on a good note where he can kind of go next year ready to pitch.
Strike 1 to Daniel Murphy, who homered to the opposite field his last time up for the only run for the Nationals. It's a 1-1 game. Curve, nasty. Strike 2. He is just pounding the strike zone. 74 pitches, 55 strikes. That's a formula for success for anybody, but for Matt Moore, who can be erratic. been pinpoint tonight. Strike 3 called.
Good pitch. Little slider on the outside corner. I mean, that's it. A hitter has to tip his hat on that pitch because there's nothing you can do with it. That ball's just coming off the plate. Expanded a little bit, but I think these umpires are kind of in the same boat. It's like, hey guys, we've had 3 games in 24 hours here. Like, we have places to go. Everybody's got places to go, and we need to swing the bat. So I'm not gonna be too tight here after the day that we've all had. And you got to be ready to swing the bat and swing anything close.
2 down and a first pitch curve right in there to Ryan Zimmerman. He was 1 for 2. Matt Moore just matching step for step with the ace of the Nationals, Max Scherzer. A little bit low. He's getting the ball and ready to go. He has not wasted any time. Only Posey there was just trying to slow the tempo down just briefly. That one is hammered to left. Parker, it is gone. A line drive home run into the bullpen puts the Nationals ahead.
I think that's a pitch that Matt wanted. I don't think that's necessarily a pitch that Buster wanted. They kind of couldn't get on the same page there, and I think Buster put down the pitch that he knew that he wanted to go to. And Buster did say, if you're going to throw it, he put his glove down, said you got to get it down, and he didn't get it down enough. And he didn't quite get it down enough. I mean, it is a little bit off the plate, but that's a pitch that he's hitting this year because he's standing off the plate more than he is used to standing. He used to be closer to the plate right there, and he's getting to that ball now.
Well, Zimmerman had asked for time. Posey had given a different sign, and Moore didn't agree. Zimmerman asked for time, then Posey set that target, and Zimmerman hit it over the wall. It's not always just the pitch selection, but you said it, the location was a mistake to Zimmerman.
Yeah, a lot of righties, it probably is a good pitch, you know, kind of off the plate down. But to Zimmerman, he's able to hit that pitch this year better than he has hit it in recent years.
And you know what? Every pitcher makes mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes over the course of 9 innings. But this is a team, the Nationals, that just punishes mistakes. And Zimmerman, instead of, okay, a line drive base hit or whatever, he hit a home run.
Yeah, he's having a great year.
His 27th home run. 1-2 to Rendon. That's the second time that's happened in this game with the curve.
It is the second time, and I don't. That can come from throwing it, you know, way early, but it could also come from the ball slipping out. I don't know if he's. How about he's sweating? It doesn't look like he's dripping sweat out there. It's not a really humid, hot night. But that kid, how he throws it, sometimes if he spins it too far back by his head instead of get out in front, that'll happen. But that's twice in one night. That's impressive.
That one is lined and caught by Hunter Pence, who might have been fighting the lights on that one, but he made the play. John will come back and join Jeremy here for the 7th. Nationals take a 2-1 lead.
Time for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Tomorrow, Giants will be at the Marlins. The coverage will begin at 3:30 p.m. on NBC Sports Bay Area. Ty Block will face off against Adam Conley. Oh, you see the stats right there. Going to be a early game, even though it's a night game. It's going to feel early for the Giants. The Giants getting in pretty early this morning. And John Miller is back with me from the radio.
This morning we got in pretty early.
But
Tomorrow morning we're going to get in really early.
That's what I meant.
In the morning. But I like my idea. I think we should just go to the hotel, sleep for 5 or 6 hours, and then have a 1 o'clock game again.
Yeah, just get it
and
over
then
with.
Stay there and play game 2, the Tuesday game. Let's play the Tuesday game tomorrow night. We'll get home a whole day early. Buster Posey over to third. Rendon. One away. Rendon makes that slinging kind of a throw from over there. That one was a little bit wide, but handled cleanly by Zimmerman. Now Pablo Sandoval. Buster is 0 for 3 in this game against Scherzer. The Giants are behind again. A couple of long balls. I mean, Moore has been pitching a sensational game, but the Nats, this is the Nats game. They have a lot of ways to beat you tonight. A couple of long balls, and they're ahead with Scherzer having allowed just the 1 run. Ball 1 to Pablo. Long day for Pablo. 0 for 2 in this game, and 0 for 7 in the doubleheader. He hit a ball really well deep to right center in the 2nd inning tonight. It was run down by Stevenson, the right fielder. That ball is hit deep down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. Upper deck. Adios, pelota.
Pablo's been seeing the ball pretty good all night. He had that ball that got run down, but he also had a hard hit ball up the middle. They tried to go in on him. Pablo, that's probably the hardest ball he's hit in 2 years. That ball went a long way.
It hit off the front of the 3rd deck, the upper deck out there. Spectacular home run for Pablo Sandoval to tie this game. Man, that was sharp. And he hit it. I think he hit it faster than the speed of sound.
Ball in, but he threw exactly where it was asked for, but Pablo was waiting on it. Scherzer knew it right away, right when he threw it. He got hit. Scherzer's head went down. He didn't even want to watch it. He knew that was fair in the stadium.
Ryder Jones unable to lay off the soft stuff. Here's another look at it. Man, I think that hit up there before the fans in the upper deck heard the crack of the bat. Supersonic speeds.
I mean, what do you think? 336 feet
on that one? Yeah, or more.
336 plus. How about we go with that?
I think Pablo was pretty sure that he had gotten all of it. Statcast is going, said that left his bat at 110 miles per hour. Half swing, look at it. Foul, shot right over toward Ron Wotus in the Giants dugout. Pablo. This guy, as always, a smile on his face like, yeah, oh yeah, I've done that before. That's the 2nd time he's hit a home run against Scherzer, by the way, in his career, in 14 lifetime at bats against him. And that's all for Ryder Jones, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts in this one. 9 strikeouts in the game for Scherzer, and here comes Jared Parker. Now Jared Parker is in bad need of just a hard hit ball, whether it's a hit or a home run or whatever, just to hit it hard.
Yeah, I think he. I would take a homer like Pablo just hit, though.
Take it, yeah. Well, how about this? A fair ball. He is 0 for 7 in the doubleheader. 5 strikeouts and 2 foul outs. That's his day. That's a pretty tough day to take. He had a base hit less than 24 hours ago in the first inning last night. Since then, he's gone 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. Curveball in the dirt. Now Pablo's talking to Miguel Gomez here. Looked like Miguel was asking him some advice too. Orlando Caliste over behind. He was brought up today as the 26th man for the Giants for the doubleheader. And he lays off too high. 2-1 the count. Gorky Hernandez also on the left side of the screen, lingering in this discussion. Miguel Gomez was placed on the disabled list yesterday before the game, or before last night's game. 2-1 the count. 2-2.
Scherzer just continues to put that slider kind of down and in on him. And Parker, I think he must just see it so good out of his hand, and then by the time he goes to swing, it just disappears. I don't think you'll see many adjustments made by Scherzer until he sees Parker make an adjustment on him. He could go back away here if he wants to. But
Pablo's first home run with the Giants in the regular season since nearly 3 years ago in interleague play in Detroit against Buck Farmer at Comerica Park. He, of course, also hit 3 home runs in Game 1 of the World Series against the Tigers at AT&T Park in that same year. That's postseason play.
Off Verlander, right?
Yeah. Well, the first 2 against Verlander. And he had Verlander talking to himself after the second one.
Yeah.
That got under Verlander's skin a little bit. 2-2 the count. Strike 3 called the curveball. But the Giants have tied the game. Pablo Sandoval. Tell it bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say. First home run as a Giant for Pablo in 3 years. 2-2, last of the 7th coming up.
Is presented by the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Giants 2, Nationals 2 as we go to the last half of the 7th inning. Game 2 of the doubleheader. The Giants won Game 1 4-2. Tomorrow, our next telecast of Giants baseball from Miami. The Giants and the Marlins, 4 o'clock Pacific time, with the pregame live starting, were we saying 3:30 or 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock tomorrow, the hour-long pregame live, 3 o'clock tomorrow, 4 o'clock game time, NBC Sports Bay Area. This season, Giants games are available to stream live on the NBC Sports app. For up-to-the-minute Giants news, log on to NBCSportsBayArea.com for insider Alex Pavlovich. The racing presidents. Guess which one that one is? Yes, Abraham Lincoln. Very good. And there's
George Washington.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know my president.
They're dressed up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think tonight is 80s night here at this ballpark.
So, or 90s. Teddy Roosevelt.
So good. And that's Thomas Jefferson leading the way there. George Washington. 29,085, the official paid attendance for this game. Major League Baseball. The attendance is announced as the tickets sold for the game.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better way to put it. Tickets sold, not actual amount of people here. No offense.
Here's Howie Kendrick to lead off. That's a base hit to right field. Kendrick got one away after striking out 2 straight times against Moore. He shot it right through the hole into right field. Hit number 7 for the Nats against Moore. 2 of the Nats hits have been home runs. One by Murphy in the 3rd. One by Zimmerman in the 6th, accounting for their runs. The Giants. Hunter Pence knocked in a run with a single in the 4th inning. And then Sandoval with his mammoth home run here in the 7th to tie the game. So here is Matt Wieters. 6 feet 5 inches tall. He was drafted. The top catcher in the draft out of Georgia Tech. He was the 5th player chosen in his draft class. And then a year later, Buster Posey was drafted by the Giants. Blocked in the dirt by Buster. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wieters. Wieters drafted by Baltimore and he's been with the Orioles ever since until now. The Nationals signed him as a free agent in the offseason. Wieters, who had some injury problems the last couple of years. Big, strong, 31 years old now. And a switch hitter. That's a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The runner at first is Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick is the only National in 7 innings to lead off an inning and reach base. That's been part of the secret of more success tonight.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job of keeping the leadoff hitter off the base paths, and he's been pretty good even navigating if he does have traffic. The 2 runs come with 2 homers, and solo homers will happen in the game. I mean, you just want to kind of not give up the 3-run homer. You want to keep it close, and it's going to happen. But he's done a great job. I think this is his best outing in, man, probably months.
2-2.
Starting to see Cody Guerin warm up in the bullpen down there, because I think Bochy now it's not about the pitch count now. He's trying to take the series from him, and they're going to have a pretty rested bullpen. The Giants do, and they can mix and match if they have to.
2-2 the count. Change up for the strikeout. Beauty. 1 away. That is what, number 9 for Matt Moore. One out. Here is Taylor. Taylor, what a night he's had. He's had a single, just a pop up into left field and a strikeout, but in the field he's been sensational. He made the great throw to the plate to throw out Joe Panic. He beamed him and threw him out at the same time.
Yeah, it was That was probably, that's a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
And then he made a spectacular catch on a deep fly ball hit by Matt Moore in the 6th inning. Just a spectacular catch. Double play ball. Tomlinson the second one. Panic to first. A double play on a very fast runner. That's 7 strong in the books for Moore. 91 pitches thrown. Not in the 8th inning. 2-2. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Giants and Nats in a 2-2 tie through 7. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Giants. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Nationals. Matt Moore is 7 strong, 9 strikeouts, no walks, and only 91 pitches thrown. Pablo Sandoval tied up the ball game with a booming home run off the facing of the upper deck, the 3rd deck, in the 7th inning. Max Scherzer, he's out now. 7 very strong innings for the Nationals' great right-hander. He had 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, but threw 107 pitches. The Giants did a good job of building up his pitch count, and now he is out of the game. Daniel Murphy and Ryan Zimmerman have each hit solo homers into the Giants bullpen in left center, accounting for their runs. So the pitching change. Brandon Kinsler comes in. He's the 7th inning guy now, the former closer of the Minnesota Twins this year. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Yeah, the lefties in the lineup for the Giants tonight have done really well. It was kind of one of the things we talked about before the game started is the lefties are the best bet to get to Scherzer, and they've done a great job. Panic's done a good job against him. Pablo's done a good job. Did a good job against him. So that was Span has done a good job. So that was the key. This offense scoring runs. He did a good job tonight.
2-2, 8th inning. Kinsler, who had 28 saves for the Twins. Giants saw him earlier this year when the Twins came to San Francisco for some interleague play. And when he came here, they had to convince him that, hey, you'll be our 7th inning closer. Tonight he's in the 8th inning. As the first man in, they got their late inning guys. Kinsler for the 7th, and then another guy with closer experience, Ryan Madson, for the 8th inning, and Sean Doolittle has been doing the closing here. Madson and Doolittle both acquired from Oakland. Dusty Baker has slotted in that way after a season of difficulties in the late innings out of the bullpen. That is strike 3 called, and the 3rd straight time that Tomlinson has struck out.
And that's a rare thing because he doesn't usually strike out a whole lot. Pretty good bat control. See this fastball in the outside corner just paints a little sinker away. 94 miles an hour though. It's coming good. It's sometimes you have to convince these closers to go to the 7th inning. You know, a lot of times the 7th inning is the meat of the order at times, and not this game obviously, but it'll be the 8th inning of the meat of the order. But the 7th, 8th inning is a lot of times where games are won and lost. And so bringing in 3 closers a lot of times is a big deal. Problem is, if we need to be honest, you're also looking at pay structure change, and sometimes guys are kind of frustrated with that when they put together a pretty good year as a closer, get traded, and they get put in the 7th, because teams tend to treat closers a little differently than 7th inning guys in pay.
Carlos Moncrief is the pinch hitter for Matt Moore. So Moore is finished, and it wasn't the pitch count. He only threw 91 pitches. But he is out of the ball game now. Moncrief has a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. In the Giants bullpen, it is Corey Guerin, a right-hander, warming up.
I was kind of hoping they'd leave him in there. I want to see if he got another strikeout. I want to see if, I mean, that's back-to-back 10 punch-out games for the Giants, and in 1 doubleheader, I don't know if that's done a whole lot. I don't think Bochy cares about those things, but
doubleheaders are almost an extinct species as it is. Defoe throws out Moncrief, so 2 down. And now to the top of the order for Denard Span. 9 strikeouts for Moore tonight, the most he's had in any game. He had 8 in a game against the Dodgers back in late April. He's had a few games with 7. But tonight, 9 strikeouts. Here comes Denard Span, the former Nat. He's had 2 hits in this game and has scored one of the Giants' runs. He got a little dribbler up the third base side for a hit leading off the 4th. Pence later knocked him in, and he blooped a single along the left field line in the 6th inning, but then later got thrown out trying to steal. On 1. Both Span and Kinsler, former Minnesota Twins. Span, of course, came up originally with the Twins. Kinsler with the Twins this year. Span is 1 for 3 against him with a double in the past, so they've seen each other. And the changeup. And the count is on 2. 2 down, nobody on. Kinsler looking very strong here. Well, you make a good point about the pay structure and that sort of thing. I mean, closers get paid more generally. But we saw Terry Francona, and they got Andrew Miller in the bullpen in Cleveland, and an entirely different way that Miller was used. He could come in the 7th, he could sometimes even in the 6th inning, depending on who was coming up.
Well, almost that super reliever role.
But as Francona said, Miller already was being paid like a closer. He had a long-term contract, and so it wasn't an issue about that maybe this would cost him money or cost him saves at contract time.
And also, you come over, it depends on the personality of the guy, but some guys are like, hey, as long as we can get in the playoffs and I can have a chance to win a championship, I'll pitch wherever.
Off the inside with a fastball, and Kinsler started off the mound toward the dugout.
He's trying to stretch his legs. Calf cramped on him. Little hip shot he threw right there was coming back. He set that pitch up the entire at bat, and he felt like he made the pitch, and he didn't get it.
And it was a good one. Although the pitch cast says it was what, an inch off the inside. 2-2. And now it's a full count. That one in the dirt.
Sometimes when you walk off like that on guys, you actually can almost subconsciously mentally shut down, and it happens that quick where all of a sudden you think you have it, you walk off, and he calls it a ball, and now all of a sudden instead of walking off thinking the inning's over, you got to go pitch to him again, and it can sometimes mess with your rhythm. You can end up walking a guy, or you can end up getting a hit, you unlocked a little bit.
3-2 the count. Well, the next pitch after that was in the dirt. 3-2 offer. The bloop right to Rendon. Man, he jammed him big time. And that does end the inning. The Nationals have the pitcher's spot at the top of the order. Stevenson and Defoe coming up. The Giants go to the bullpen.
every night on every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Last half of the 8th inning, a lot of Giants fans in attendance all through the weekend here in Washington. The Giants here in game 2 of the doubleheader in a 2-2 tie. And we've got the pitching change for the Giants now. Matt Moore is out. And Corey Guerin, the right-hander, is in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Adam Lind, powerful left-handed hitter, off the Nationals bench to pinch hit for Kinsler. See Guerin's numbers for the year. Leadoff man Stevenson on deck, and then Defoe, the switch hitter, due up third in the inning. The Giants have the overshift on for this slugger. Way outside for ball 1. That was supposed to be a slider, but it didn't do much sliding.
No.
And I'm wondering, Jeremy, you were talking about you'd like to have seen Moore stay in, maybe a chance to get the 10th strikeout and whatnot. 2 10 strikeout games in the same doubleheader, very rare. That would have been cool. And he only had thrown 91 pitches. That is a strike on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the other hand, I'm wondering if Bruce Bochy is just saying, hey, he has pitched a beauty against an outstanding lineup in their ballpark. Let's take him out right now while the whole thing is still just a total positive for him.
And confidence builder, great team. You know, he knew that he wanted to leave him in to pitch. We were talking, I think me and Fleming were talking about it a little earlier, and we were just talking about how they had talked about maybe removing Moore and skipping him to work on stuff, and Bochy had come out and said no, he needs to pitch through it, and he did. He pitched great, and he pitched against a really good team, and he had his best stuff of the year. And so yeah, let him build on it, let him go to his next start, remember in this one, and keep him going.
2-1 the count to this very dangerous hitter. Nobody at third base now. Pablo's all the way over to shortstop. And high and foul off the left field line. 2-2 the count. Lind has only faced Corey Guerin 1 other time, and Guerin retired him for whatever that's worth, but at least we know that they have faced. 2-2, last of the 8th inning. In the Nationals bullpen, the closer, Doolittle, a left-hander, is up. Slider, strike 3 called. And that frozen.
Good pitch by Corey. Starting that slider outside and coming right back to the outer half of the plate. I think he just froze him on it. It was pitched down and away, but he was a great pitch. Getting that first leadoff hitter again out.
And our colleague Mike Krukow has pointed out many times Guerin has a slider that has some similarities to the one that the former Giant Sergio Romo. We watched him throw so many times, where a lot of hitters cannot pick up the slider spin on it, so they don't realize that it is a slider heading in.
Yeah, it's called we called it a no dot slider, and usually most sliders have that dot that you can see coming. When you throw a no dot like Sergio had and Guerin has, you can start that away and it almost looks like an outside fastball, and then it comes back and you can't time it, and you can't get the depth perception on the break when it's a no dot because you're not following it real well.
Stevenson, the leadoff man, and he struck out 3 straight times against Matt Moore. When he saw that Moore was coming out of the game in this inning with him coming up, I mean, I'm sure he at least quietly said, thank God.
I don't think he saw him real well.
Pablo plays him shallow at third. He's a very fast runner. Into center field. Span on the run. No! Not this time for Denard Span. And he was lucky that it didn't skip right on by him.
Xfinity X1 customers, all you need to say is show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
So Stevenson is aboard. Here's another fast runner. Wilmer Difo, he's had an infield hit. Bunted back to the pitcher. He was bunting for a hit, and he's bounced one back to the pitcher. He's 1 for 3. And Stevenson back to the bag. Now this is a spot. You got a hitter at the plate who's not a power hitter, where a steal could be a very big play tactically. Stevenson has, he really has not been on base that often. He hasn't been here that long. But a steal could be a very big play. We know he has speed. Also, Guerin can be rather slow to the plate. And hitters or base stealers tend to get a good jump against him.
Yeah, he has a little timing thing where he taps his glove, and sometimes that he kind of gathers and he taps his glove and before he gets his motion going. And sometimes hitters can almost get that where he picks a foot up and they know he has to tap first, and they're going to try to time that to steal. But with that sinker, he's got double play potential.
There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Difo. Now the power follows Difo. You mentioned double play. That could be huge. With Murphy, Zimmerman, and Rendon, 3 sluggers, all with power. And 2 of them have homered in this game. Those are the guys coming up after Difo. There's Zimmerman in the hole with Murphy on deck. 1-1 the count. Off the inside, 2-1. He is a slow worker, very deliberative out there. I mean, why is he so slow?
He just tries to. Some guys, that's just in their personality to kind of take their time, slow the game down. And I would go out there and slow the game down sometimes. I try to get in and out as quick as possible.
Off the glove of Ryder Jones. And now the second goes Stevenson. Free of charge. He didn't have to steal it.
Oh, it almost looked like Ryder wasn't necessarily ready for that throw. Was it that erratic? It looked like that wild
Looked like
throw,
it looked like it was right there, and he just didn't catch it.
Picked off. Yeah, it kind of. I think it almost ran because he's got that little slinging motion, and you see Ryder right there. He's got the glove, and it kind of came back and handcuffed him almost at the last second. It's probably got that late movement that he throws that buster in it. Especially if you're not used to playing catch or you're not used to the way Guerin throws, it just kind of handcuffed him. He wasn't ready for the movement.
So that is an unexpected turn of events. An error on Ryder Jones. Now runner in scoring position. 2-1 the count to Difo. And the foul ball. 2-2.
This changes the entire dynamic of the inning, though, because now you're trying to get him out, but you also have to be careful on. I mean, hits now score the go-ahead run. You have the go-ahead run now at second base, so it does change a little bit the way you pitch, what pitches are called, because you're trying to really kind of get that guy to keep the ball on the ground or weak in the air. But
Ron Wotus there, who positions the defense. Stevenson away from second. And the big strikeout.
Great
that
pitch.
Slider again.
Big pitch in a big situation. Bear down a little bit. Knew he had a guy on second now. That was probably the best slider he's thrown out of all of his sliders tonight. Was that one right there late. Good pitch.
So the Giants are going to give Murphy, one of the best left-handed hitters in the game, automatically going to send him to first base, the automatic walk. And they'll go after Zimmerman, another one of the great hitters in the game, but a right-handed hitter who has been better against left-handed pitching.
I tell you, that's a tough call to make right there. Bochy likes to go with same arm matchups a lot, regardless of what their batting average is. But I tell you, man, it's a tough call to walk a guy like Murphy knowing Zimmerman's up. You're kind of between a rock and a hard place, and it's not like the guy even behind Zimmerman's a weak hitter himself either. I mean,
these are the guys, the Nationals' top guys. Bryce Harper placed on the disabled list after getting injured last night. Zimmerman homered his last time up. 2 on, 2 out. Way outside. Now Zimmerman is up here and against left-handed pitchers before today, hitting .329. But it's not like he's an automatic out against right-handed pitching. He's hitting, or at game time, .304 against the right-handers. That is a called strike. Now there's also the factor of what is the history between these two guys. Zimmerman has faced Corey Guerin only twice, so there's not much history, but Zimmerman struck out both of those times. So a little bit of history, and it looks like Bochy's going with that.
Yeah, and enough to know that, you know, he might have only faced him twice and struck out against him twice, but he's not seeing him all that well from what those stats say. I think Zimmerman's a little different hitter than he was probably the last few times that he's faced Corey, but even right there, he kind of left it arm side high, and he kind of had a late swing. He's just not picking him up good right there, as you can tell. He was pretty late right there.
So Guerin is ahead of the count. Game on the line. 2 men on, 2 men out in a tie ball game. Last of the 8th inning. And one of the top hitters in the National League this year, and for many years, Ryan Zimmerman at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a check swing. 2-2. The Giants in the 9th inning. As we look ahead just a bit, scheduled to have Joe Panik, Hunter Pence, and Buster Posey come up, likely against Doolittle, who's up in the Nationals bullpen. Stevenson at second, a very fast runner. Murphy at first. Bouncer, Tomlinson, Panik covering, and the inning is over. Well done by Corey Guerin under duress. Panik, Pence, Posey coming up. Giants baseball for Esurance Giants post-game live. Highlights, reaction, analysis, and it's all coming up for a full hour right after the game. We're at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., the rubber match of the series. The series that's all been played within the last 23 and a half hours so far. All 3 games. And here is the pitching change. Doolittle, the former Athletics lefty, on for the 9th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Still less than 24 hours after Game 1 started, which was last night. And we're in the 9th inning of Game 3.
It's been a wild ride.
Been rather intense here at Nationals Park. Nobody had a full night's sleep. Last night's game ended close to 1:30 in the morning here. And we got started at 1:05, Game 1 of this doubleheader. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Patton. Now, he has been the hot bat today. In this game, he had a shot that was caught in right center in the 1st inning. He has doubled down the right field line and walked. He had 3 hits in Game 1. And he also got beamed trying to score on a throw from Michael Taylor that was basically like it hit him in the left side of his face and was trapped there by the catcher, Wieters, who held on to it as he tagged him out.
It was one of the more awkward things I've ever seen, and almost, yeah, it could have been. Oh,
it's down the left field line. That's a base hit, and he is aboard again. That is his 5th hit of this doubleheader.
Have a series, Joe. I don't think we were pretty concerned that it could have rattled him, and now it seems like he's been feeling just fine. Little trying to throw that fastball hard away, and instead of Panic trying to do anything too much with it, it looked like he just went with the pitch and hit it down the line.
I mean, that's a guy who's hitting with confidence right now.
He feels very comfortable. I mean, you just faced potentially the best pitcher in the entire game and had 3 really good at bats off him, and this guy here's not too shabby himself.
A 96-mile-an-hour high fastball to Panic, and he got on top of it and ripped it over the head of Rendon. As Hunter Pence, who has knocked in a run with a single to center. That was in between a couple of strikeouts against Scherzer. Now facing Doolittle. 2-2, 9th inning. And Panic is back to the bag. Doolittle got into the game last night. He got the save. I say last night, earlier this morning. And well, here he is as the ball is fouled out of play off to the right. Such an unusual, intense circumstance where we got rained out on Friday night. Rain delayed last night. Didn't start the ball game until 6 minutes after 10 o'clock local time, finishing at 1:17 a.m. and then 2 games today. The Giants won the first one today, 4-2. They're in a 2-2 tie here in Game 2. And it's 1-2 now to Pence. He did not go out of the strike zone chasing that one. Doolittle has been the closer since coming over from Oakland, and he's had 8 saves for the Nats. Pence pops it up, foul and out of play. Another fastball, and they're almost always all going to be fastballs against with Doolittle throwing.
Yeah, he doesn't really throw anything but fastballs. He just uses that deception and keeps climbing the ladder on you. He's coming right after you. Kind of has a little bit of a step towards first.
Now Panic's going to test it. And Wieters' throw is too late.
And the one breaking ball he throws in 2 games, throws it right in the dirt. Puts a go-ahead run in scoring position.
And maybe saying to himself, I'm just going to throw fastballs from now on.
Probably should have stuck with my fastball.
Scored as a wild pitch, but heads up base running by Panik. I mean, that one got what, 10 feet away from Wieters?
Yeah, he saw it in the dirt. He saw it low, and it could have been a blocked ball pretty easy. So you're right. His reaction time had to be pretty good to know to do that.
So now Panik in scoring position. Pence along the right field line. Stevenson. The tag up by Joe Panik, and he's going to go to third. A productive out for Hunter Pence. And a runner at third, one out, and Buster Posey coming up.
Well, they got the right guy at the plate with the go-ahead run on third that they want. So Hunter Strickland's continuing to warm up in the bullpen, and it looks like they might have Dyson starting to warm up now too.
They give Buster the automatic walk, so Buster has been bypassed, and they're going to go after the Panda instead. Make him swing right-handed. He's been a much different hitter from the right side in the last several years. I guess that was kind of an easy decision for Dusty Baker. So here's Pablo, who hit a spectacular home run off the facing of the upper deck, the third deck in right field, his last at bat. He's 1 for 3 in the game. And a pretty good swing there, a foul into the crowd.
I mean, that was loud even. He knew it when he hit it. Scherzer knew it when he hit it. I think the only people that didn't know were people in the upper deck still looking for the ball when it hit right in front of them.
I'm telling you, they hadn't even heard the crack of the bat yet. It got there that quickly. 1-1 the count. Middle infield, double play deck. That's back to the screen. Strike 2. Pablo versus Doolittle. Sandoval has had only 2 at-bats in his career against Doolittle. He got a single in one of them, struck out in the other. Doolittle is going for the strikeout right here.
And Pablo's a smart enough hitter. He knows he has to put it in play. He's got to figure out a way to get it in the air or hit it to the right side of the infield, score that run.
And Nick Hundley is on deck. That is a foul out of play. Due up next was Ryder Jones, but Nick Hundley is out in the on deck circle, a right-handed hitter. You mentioned we had Hunter Strickland up in the bullpen. We showed a shot of him out there, but Strickland is no longer the only one throwing out there. 2-2, 1 out. Pablo bends back from it. 97 miles an hour on that one from Doolittle. Sam Dyson, who got the save in game 1. The Giants go ahead. It appears that Dyson will be brought on again for the second time today. The high hard went up out of the strike zone. Pablo fouls it straight back. He had a pretty good rip at that one. A 97-mile-an-hour heater. What did Pablo do with the bat there? He looked like he brought it up to barrel in.
Smelled it. I think sometimes I asked it a few times, and some hitters feel like if you're on it and you foul it really good straight back, it kind of has a little burn smell where the seam. So he's probably. So I see some guys smell their bat to see if they were kind of close to on the pitch. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was told.
Another high fastball and another foul by Pablo Sandoval. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He used to say about Pablo when he was the Panda and everybody's favorite that he never met a pitch that he didn't like, and there was not such a thing as a pitch that he didn't think he could hit hard.
That's true. I felt like there was a few times where you could have probably thrown the rosin bag up there and he would have swung at it, but
blowing in.
But then there's a pitch like that right there where you'd expect him to swing. Is being swing mode, he laid off it, so he's starting to feel a little more comfortable. And
so in his heart of hearts, Doolittle was sure he was going to chase that slant.
Yeah, I mean, he was in swing mode and he was gearing up and swinging at all the locations. So good job by Panda right there.
Pop up, and that is Murphy. So he does win the duel. That was the 8th pitch to Pablo Sandoval, and he does prevail. Pablo unable to get Paddock home from third. 2 down. And now Nick Hundley will come up as a pinch hitter for Ryder Jones. Two to 2 here in the 9th inning. Paddock led off the inning with a single. Took second on a wild pitch. Took third on a fly ball to right by Pence. And Posey was given the automatic walk. Pablo Sandoval popped out to second. Quite a battle between Pablo and Doolittle. So now here is Nick Hundley. Hundley caught the first game and had a double and a run scored in the 8th inning of that game. Back out of play. Strike 1. Doolittle and Hundley have only faced each other twice, and Doolittle retired him both times, once on a strikeout. Hundley having a very good year for the Giants as the backup catcher, hitting .270. 5 homers, 19 doubles. High and tight. Giants have 2 runs, 6 hits. The Nationals 2 runs, 8 hits. The Nats will have Rendon, Kendrick, and Wieters, the due-up hitters in the last half of the 9th. Paddock, the runner at third, the possible go-ahead run. Posey at first. Chased the high hard one up out of the strike zone. 1 and 2. Now the Nationals fans into the drama, and everybody rises, offering encouragement for Doolittle here, and they got the "do" chant going. Left field, starting back was Kendrick, now in, under it, and Doolittle gets through it. The Giants with a threat, but nothing more. Rendon coming up, last of the night, still tied. And we go to the last half of the 9th inning here in Washington. And we've got the pitching change for the Giants. Strickland is in when it's time for a change. The Speedy Oil Change at Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Strickland pitching for the 2nd time today. He pitched the 8th inning of Game 1, and he was roundly booed. And they just introduced him here on the PA system, and you hear the booing again. Also booed lustily on his way in from the bullpen in left field. At Anthony Rendon hit a 2-run homer against him in that first game of the 8th inning. And who is up to lead off this inning but Anthony Rendon? So Strickland will get a shot at him for the second time today.
Got that fastball up and into him earlier this afternoon. And this team can hit a fastball. And Strickland throws them, but he also has the stuff that can beat these hitters. But he's going to have to keep the ball away. He has good natural cut when he throws the ball away to righties. And this is, you're going to see, he needs to keep that ball away to him.
That one away, right on the outside. 0-1. Rendon is fouled out to second, grounded out to second, lined out to right. 0 for 3. Buster Posey now at first base. Nick Huntley moves in to catch after pinch hitting for Ryder Jones. 2-2 the score. Oh, look out. Had a big rip at that one.
That's basically where he threw it to him earlier this afternoon. He did that at bat too. He threw it and he kind of swung and missed at it. But you go to that well too many times, you're going to be in trouble. This is where Huntley needs to really emphasize. I mean, you got to get that ball out there and kind of put that target out there a little bit.
22 homers, 76 runs batted in this year for Rendon. 0-2. And the hard-breaking ball taken. Rendon did well. Lay off that one. 2-2, last of the ninth. And here, after this one of the longest 24-hour periods of baseball we've ever seen, Strickland is trying to make this game go longer. He misses 2-2.
Well, this is an important game. I mean, it's a swing game. Whoever wins this game wins the series, and the Giants are definitely wanting a confidence booster to say they just come off 2 good series wins, and now you come into the Nationals, best team in, probably one of the best teams in the National League, best offensive team. Take it from them. That's a big deal.
Did he swing? The appeal. Yes. Strike 3. Jerry Meals rings him up. Rendon not too happy about it.
I'd agree with that. I think he swung. Oh yeah.
Well, man, not even close from that view. We saw the one view that was more like what Meals saw.
Yeah.
Not as easy to call it from that view, but he got the call right. Here is Kendrick, and he tried to check after he had gone through. 0-1.
And that's just because he throws so hard that if you start that slider in the middle of the plate, they have to commit. Unless you're taking, if you're wanting to see a fastball and swing, you have to commit to that pitch right there. You get a lot of those check swings.
One ball and 1 strike. The Nationals bullpen is busy. I think it's Matt Albers, a right-hander, warming up for the Nats for a possible 10th inning. Howie Kendrick 1 for 3, struck out twice and then singled his last time up against Moore. Oh, beauty. Strike 2. There's Albers. He's been around a long time, and he's having maybe his best year this year.
He's a White Sox, right?
White Sox, Houston, Baltimore. He's been around for a while. Hunter Strickland tried to get this one to the 10th inning. 1-2 the count to the veteran Kendrick. And we saw that one cutting and just cut right out of the strike zone at 97 miles an hour. Two to 2, last of the ninth. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach. Watching every movement of his pitcher. Can he swing? No, not this time, says Jerry Means. 3-2. Almost got him to chase that breaking ball again, as did Rendon. A lot of guys starting and stopping swings with Strickland out there.
It just is testament to how tight that slider is right now.
And he walks it.
Spun off that pitch a little bit and pulled it outside. Sometimes he's just trying to make sure he doesn't leave it in to these hitters, and he kind of pulled it over there and knew it was 3-2. There's a count that a lot of guys are going to be committed to the fastball on, so if you're going to miss, you miss away.
So now Matt Wieters, the big catcher, the switch hitter. He'll switch around and bat left-handed here. Pence is there, and that is out number 2. The Wieters has gone on 1 pitch. Wieters hitting only .239 batting left-handed, .255 batting right-handed. Now Michael Taylor. Taylor just brought back from the disabled list today. This is a guy who's got some power. He's got 12 home runs this year in 244 at bats. Today in this game he has singled. A little pop fly to left. He struck out and he grounded into a double play to end the 7th inning. A ball and no strikes. Taylor, a 6th-round draft choice by the Nats back in '09. For a long time in their farm system. They drafted him as a shortstop and converted him to a center fielder. That's a called strike. 1-1 the count. 2 down, a runner at first. Trying to get it to the 10th inning. If the Giants bat in the 10th, as we look ahead a little bit, it'll be Parker, Tomlinson, and then the pitcher spot due up. Just off the corner. And I'm
disagree with that call.
I'm trying to
disagree. Unbelievable.
Let's see what PitchCast says.
I mean, I disagree with the PitchCast square box right now too.
Malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Pablo hugs the line at third for this right-handed hitter. That one he got. Strike 2 call. 97 miles an hour. He struck him out. The high hard one that just took off up and in. Blew it by him. We're going overtime. What else would we do after the long night? And what else? We're going to just keep on playing, even though we have played 9 innings for the 3rd time in just a little bit less than 24 hours. here we are, and we're going to continue into the 10th inning, 2-2 tie. And here is Matt Albers on the pitch for the Nationals.
Matt Albers having one of his best years of his career. 42 innings pitched, 2.13 ERA, only 5 homers allowed, and opponent's batting average is under 200. So it's not like it's getting any easier for the Giants the deeper they get into this pen.
So here's Albers. Albers got a couple of saves. There was a short time where they used him as a closer when they were having so many problems in that category. So here he is. And for the Giants, Jared Parker. Severino is now catching for the Nationals. Severino was the 26th guy brought up in the minor leagues today. Each team is allowed to have a 26th player for a doubleheader. Pretty good rip at that one. I think I'd like to see that one again. Back out of play, 0-1. Jared Parker is hurting for a hit big time. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a foul out in this game. And in game 1 of the doubleheader, he was 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts and a foul out. Pedro Severino now catching.
I'll go away with the homer.
And that will go out of play. 0-2. Readers is out of the game, and Severino, the new catcher, will be slotted in the 9th spot of the batting order, be due up first in the last half of the 10th inning. Albers in the 7th spot where Matt Wieters had been. And he took that one too high.
Last pitch right here. Up. It's that one that's like 3 balls above the belt.
That is into the defense in right field, and Murphy got him by a step and a half at first base. First time that Parker has put a ball into fair ground in this game, in this doubleheader. But still, he came up empty. And here is Tomlinson. Tomlinson has struck out 3 times in this game, which I'm going to say, and I may be wrong, but I'm going to say that's the first time that's ever happened to him.
Yeah, he usually has really good back control, and he doesn't strike out because he just knows how to put it in play. But it seems like he hasn't really seen the ball that well tonight, but hopefully he sees the ball well now. I'll take a double.
And the slider or cutter, a foul out of play. Strike 1. Out on deck with the pitcher due up next. Strickland. Instead, it is Brandon Crawford in the on deck circle. That came back over the outside. Strike 2. They just painted that outside edge. One spinning away and one kind of spinning back in. But on the outside edge each time. In the dirt for the strikeout. 4 in a row for Kelby Tomlinson. 4 strikeouts in the game. So now Brandon Crawford will come up as the pinch hitter for Strickland. In the Giants bullpen, it is Albert Suarez warming up. Nationals in their half of the 10th inning. There's Suarez. Mark Gardner, the pitching, sort of the assistant pitching coach and bullpen coach, out there alongside. Nationals will have Severino. Then the top of the order was Stevenson and Defoe due up. And the foul ball changed up on him. 0-1, 85 miles an hour. 2-2 in the 10th inning. It is what, 3.5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Last night, about this time, we were still getting ready for the first game of the series.
Yep.
Off the inside at 95. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this is the third game, and we're in extra innings in this third game in the last 24 hours.
Perfect. What everybody wanted to do. You know?
And when the game's over, whenever that is, the Giants will then just fly on down to Miami. Off the inside. 2-1. The flight itself, and believe me, nobody's thinking about the flight right now. Down there in the dugout. This is a winnable game for the Giants. And a chance to take another series from a top contending team in the National League. They did so against the Cubs before they came here, and they did so against Arizona just before the Cubs. Those teams are all going to be in the postseason come October. Brandon Crawford, 2-1 the count. Crawford, who has some power. And chops it foul. 2-2. Two and 2 to Crawford. 2 down, nobody on. Shortstop Defoe playing almost up the middle. And Crawford bounces a foul. This is the kind of thing that really it does not happen in other sports. You don't get rainouts and makeup games, 2 games in 1 day. You don't get the delays where one game doesn't even start till after 10 o'clock at night. 2 and 2 the count.
I'm getting conflicting reports though, because I feel like someone has said that the CBA agreement said that there's no doubleheaders on getaway day, and we're having one. And they might have even made an exception, but why are we doing a split, like a split doubleheader with a day-night scenario where it can't be just back-to-back? Because this is the situation they try to avoid from happening. And now it's official.
24 hours ago, exactly, this all began. And this is the third game since 10:06 last night, and we're in the 10th inning of this third game in those 24 hours. 28 innings.
We have played more than 1 inning an hour.
This could be a broadcaster's record.
I'm calling my agent. I'm pretty sure this isn't allowed in my contract. I'm going to ask Larry Bear. Am I supposed to be doing the 11th in this game? I'm not allowed to.
And it's pop foul. So Crawford battling it out here with Albers. Leadoff man Denard Span is on deck. What do you want to do when we get to Miami at about, what, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? Go out for breakfast?
I think I'm just going to roll with it, and I'll let Kuiper do the entire game tomorrow. I'll just sit in here with a pillow and lay my head on the counter.
Oh, no, Kuiper won't even be there yet. I'm talking about when we get there at 5 a.m.
I know, but I'm going to stay up so that when I get to the game, I just sleep through the game. I'm going to go on assignment just for tomorrow's game.
And that is a strikeout. So Albers retires the side at home. Last of the 10th inning. 2-2. in the third game of the last 24 hours here in Washington. Giants 2, Nationals 2. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And that is Albert Suarez on the pitch for the Giants.
Well, this is what he's here for. He's here to provide some multiple innings. He's your long guy. He's the guy that could be a swing guy for you, but when you go into extra innings like this, they're going to try to ride him out as long as they can. They have to save the bullpen for the next 7 days. So the Giants are hoping he can give them enough innings here to get a win.
Suarez will be facing the Nationals catcher who just entered the game in the first half of this inning, Pedro Severino. So this will be Severino's first appearance in the doubleheader. They just brought him up in the minors for the doubleheader. 23 years old. In fact, just 3.5 weeks ago he turned 24 from the Dominican Republic. He's had some big league experience. Got into 16 games last year and a couple of games the year before for the Nats. Hitting .230 with Syracuse this year. And a pop-up foul out of play. 95 miles an hour from Albert Suarez. Severino has had 2 hits and 5 at-bats in the big leagues this year. So this is not his first call-up to the big leagues. 2017. And he was able to keep himself from swinging at that breaking ball. 1 and 2. The leadoff man, Stevenson, is on deck, and then Wilmer Defoe will be due up third of the inning. And then after that, it's the power. So if they get men on base, the power hitters will be coming up. 2-2 the score. Whoa, that could have been called a strike. INHO. So you're going to use Instagram talk. Hashtag IMHO. No, it was off the outside.
No, that box moved. That box, someone's messing with that box.
Well, they chased that one. Strike 3.
He knew he couldn't hold up twice.
The right fielder.
Basically made the same exact pitch, even a little further away, but sometimes you don't know those hitters. Sometimes when Hundley's talking back there, catchers will talk to umpires and kind of almost get in the hitter's head a little bit, like in the catcher's, hey man, that's a pretty good pitch. So sometimes the hitters are like, man, I can't let another one go like that. I might get rung up and get him to chase.
Now that is a really interesting point. That's a little inside baseball right there. I like that.
Yeah, the catchers will talk a lot of times. Sometimes they talk to the hitter, but they'll talk to the umpires like, hey, stay on that pitch. That was a pretty good pitch right there. And next thing you know, the hitter's like, man, I better pay attention. He's a young hitter, and he probably doesn't know the strike zone that great yet, and you can get him to fish.
2 strikes to Stevenson. He struck out 3 straight times against Matt Moore. By the way, if you're on the green line to Greenbelt, the last train on this Sunday night will be leaving in about 20 minutes. Allow extra time to get to the Navy Yard station to board your train. Don't wait till the last minute.
I'm having deja vu. How come every time we do a game, we see the last call for a train?
Last night, on a Saturday night, those last trains were later. They didn't start happening until after midnight.
I think what I'm trying to say is we're not supposed to play a night game on Sunday in Washington, D.C., obviously.
So a couple of strikeouts here for Suarez, and the batter is Wilmer Defoe. Defoe has had a hit in 4 at-bats, an infield hit in the very first inning. Switch hitter batting left-handed. 2 down, nobody on. Suarez trying to get us to the 11th inning here. That's a foul. Strike 2. They've been a strike-throwing machine in this inning. The Giants would have the top of the order if we get to the 11th. Span, Panic, and Pence. Buster Posey would be due up 4th if there's an 11th. Two strikes to Defoe. really throwing that breaking stuff a lot. That was the curveball, 78, throwing a slider. What else is he throwing? Plus he mixes in an occasional 95, 94 mile an hour fastball.
Yeah, he's a starter. He's been starting in the minor leagues this year, and he has all his pitches, and he can throw everything at you. That's why they're using him in a long relief role, almost like a Petit was for us a couple years ago, because he can give you pitch selection, he can give you arm strength, so he's going to be able to go deep into the game. If you need him to go more innings here, hopefully we only need him to go this inning, and then the Giants will hit a homer, and we'll see Dyson. But the only thing better I'd like to see on it that could only complete our entire time here at the Nationals is for that side.
Strike three call to the outside corner, and Defoe angry about the call. Suarez strikes out the side onto the 11th. Span, Panic, Pence, and maybe Posey. Thursday, and the Philadelphia Phillies, the Fightins, will be in town for 4 days starting Thursday night, Thursday and Friday at 7:15, Saturday the special 6:05 start, Sunday the 20th. Summertime baseball in the sunshine at 1:05. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com. Polynesian night on the Friday night, Virgin America 2-for-1 voucher night on Saturday, and the Kruk and Kite Socks presented by Good Neighbor Pharmacy on Sunday. We are in the 11th inning. The series, which talk about a compressed series. This is game 3. Game 1 started 24 hours and 10 minutes ago as that ball is hammered foul down the right field line by Denard Span. He's had a 2-hit game here in game 2. Strike 1 the count. I'm John Miller with Jeremy Affeldt. Dwayne Kuiper, Mike Krukow on assignment. Dwayne Kuiper will return to the booth in Miami. He's probably been in Miami for hours. Just maybe getting in from dinner at one of the great restaurants. Here's the 1-strike pitch, and that's too high from Matt Albers, back for his 2nd inning of work. Giants tied the game in the 7th. Pablo Sandoval launched a spectacular home run off the facing of the 3rd deck, the upper deck in right field. A lot of people trying to make that final metro, the green line to Greenbelt. Meanwhile, there's a passageway that goes out. It's sort of a street that's like a promenade out beyond left field, and those people are all on that promenade right now out to the Navy Yard subway station, or metro station. In the Bay Area we call it BART. In Washington it's the Metro. That is a foul on the 3rd base side. 2-2 to Span. He had an infield hit in the 4th inning, and that was when Scherzer, the starter, was in, and he scored the Giants' first run. A little bit later on, Pence knocked him in. There's Panic on deck. Span also blooped the single to left in the 6th inning. but was thrown out trying to steal. But a 2-hit game, he had only 5 hits in 42 at bats until those 2 hits. So happy to get him. Look out. I don't know how he got out of the way of that one. That was just zeroing in on his shin.
That's just pure reaction. That ball was yanked so far inside. He had nowhere to go but that way. Yeah, 99% of the time you're hitting a guy with that pitch. You just got out of the way at the perfect time.
3-2 the count. Zimmerman races into the bag, retires his old teammate. Span. He got jammed big time on that pitch. And I don't know if it would have been ball 4 or not. 2 strikes, even on the 3-2 count. You got to swing if it's close, right?
You got to protect. Yeah, you don't want to get caught looking at strike 3, especially in the 11th inning. You got to get base runners beat you on the bag. If it's close, at least foul it off, or try to put the ball in play and see what happens.
Here's Joe Paddock. He's been the hot bat for the Giants all day long. Game 1 of this doubleheader started 9 hours and 9 hours and 15 minutes ago was when this doubleheader started. 24 hours and 15 minutes ago is when the 3-game series started. And we're in the 11th inning of game 3. 1 ball, no strikes to Paddock. He's had 2 hits and a walk in this game after a 3-hit game 1. Just a high fly ball to center. Taylor. And they got Paddock this time. And now Hunter Pence. Pence has been hitting the long ball after not hitting the long ball most of the season. Hunter Pence has been hitting some home runs here the last couple of weeks. He hit one at Dodger Stadium 2 weeks ago yesterday. That was his 7th of the year, and he's hit 3 more since then. So Pence, for those 2 weeks, he started hitting home runs at a pace that makes you think of Hunter Pence. Tonight, he is 1 for 4 with an RBI single. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Albers right at the knees with that one. Albers has not allowed a base runner. This is his 2nd inning. Pence is 1 for 3 plus a walk against him. 1 hit, 3 at bats plus a walk. Lifetime. Off the outside. I wanted Pence to chase. He's not chasing right now.
He's looking for that fastball inner half that he can try to put out of this ballpark. And unless he has to swing at something, he's not going to chase it.
2-1 the count. And he spun that one down and away. Ball 3. Buster Posey is on deck. Here he is. The infield swung over toward the 3rd base side. Not the complete overshift, but really playing him to pull big time. And he walks him. Well, even on a 3-1 count, he would not give in. And he ends up walking, just trying to paint that outside edge over and over and over again.
Well, you got the right guy up.
Buster Posey is hitless in the game, 0 for 3. Was given the automatic walk in the 9th inning. Buster was 1 for 3 with a walk last night. When I say last night and into this morning. In fact, he hit a double at about, I don't know, 1:45 this morning. That might have been one of the latest doubles in terms of time of day that in Buster's career.
Yeah. I bet that's the first 1:30 a.m. double he's ever hit.
That's called a strike. Buster didn't seem to be in agreement with Chris Conroy, the plate umpire, about that call.
He was right.
0-1 the count. The big chop. Murphy. That's the program. Catcher's legs in mid-August. And Murphy knew that. Last of the 11th, the big hitters, Murphy, Zimmerman, Rendon. It is 2-2, and the big hitters are coming up for Washington. Back in the 4th inning, the Giants scored their first run, and it was Joe Paddock who was at second base. Span scored on a single by Pence. Let's go back and take a look at it. The single to center by Pence. Span is in, and Paddock is waved on. The throw from Taylor, and it hits the side of the face of Paddock and trapped against his face by Matt Wieters. And just an astonishing, something that we've never seen before. And he got beamed as he was being tagged out. But he's back in the game, and he never left. He's a tough guy, tough dude from New York. So here is Daniel Murphy. He has hit a home run in this game. That was back in the 3rd inning. On deck is Zimmerman, who also has a home run in this game, and then Rendon, who hit a home run in game 1 of the doubleheader. These 3 guys have combined for 69 home runs this year. And it's a ball off the outside. And it's not that they just hit home runs either. Murphy with 20 home runs for the year, and he's hitting .328 and leads the league in doubles. All 3 of these guys are hitting over .300 for the year. They're just excellent hitters with power. Curveball, base hit to center.
Kind of a hanging breaking ball right there. You can see he's pretty balanced throughout the swing, and you can see he saw it, almost kind of hitched up and just went with it. Didn't try to do too much. He just kind of saw it hanging up there and flipped it out in the outfield. Trying to get on base for some of these other guys.
Tying the shoelaces. Suarez. And here comes Zimmerman. Zimmerman, of these guys, has been the most powerful of all. 27 home runs, including his 6th inning home run tonight. He's the veteran, Zimmerman. 32 years old, former first-round draft choice 12 years ago when the Nationals were still in a building mode soon after they had been moved from Montreal here to Washington. He was their first big young prospect. And he immediately became a very good player. In the last few years, he's had injury problems. But this year, he seems to be fully healthy again, and he's putting up the big numbers. Having one of his best years of his whole career. He's had some good ones.
I don't feel like he's spent much time in the minor leagues. I feel like they rushed him through pretty quick and put him in the big leagues at a pretty young age, 20, right? 21?
Yeah. That is called a strike. And now Suarez is ahead of him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Suarez having to run the gauntlet here against the Nationals' very best hitters. And when you talk about this ball club and their best hitters, you're talking about some of the best hitters in the game.
Definitely not an easy part of their lineup to work through.
2-2. Anthony Rendon, another 300 hitter, 22 home runs, is on deck. Of course, the Nationals are without their great young star, Bryce Harper, placed on the disabled list after getting injured in the first inning late last night, just a little over 24 hours ago. Off the fists. Panic in a hurry. No! And over to third base goes Murphy. Pretty good pitch by Suarez. He jammed it big time, but muscled into the outfield by Zimmerman.
Not a bad pitch at all. He got it. It was a little up, but it's not a pitch that you wouldn't think you'd be able to do much with. I mean, that ball was a good 8 inches off the plate. It wasn't even a strike, and he just muscled it out there, and it dropped in a perfect spot. Murphy knew it the whole time, and he just pretty much kept running and got to third base. Pretty good base running by Murphy as well.
Now you've got Rendon, another one of the Nationals' best hitters, 300 hitter with power. There is an empty base. You've got Kendrick up after him. They have a couple of left-handed hitters on their bench, by the way. So Bochy out there talking strategy with his club. Huntley stays out there. Posey, the rest of the infielders. This is a spot now where the outfielders are going to have to come in to a spot where they can catch a ball and still keep Daniel Murphy from scoring. The infielders have to come in. And what's the Giants' decision? The umpire looking over at Bochy. Yeah, and they're going to give the automatic walk to Rendon. That will set up the force out at home plate. Plus, why face Rendon if you don't have to?
Yeah, and you are trying to set up the. You're trying to do exactly that. You're trying to set up the force play at home. You're going to bring the infield all the way in, throw home. Hopefully, you can get a possible double play at home to first, double play scenario. But outfield's going to be way in. They're playing almost in shallow outfield. They're taking pretty much anything, any bloop away that they've had, like they've had the last couple at bats, away from Kendrick.
So the infield in, the outfield is in. Nobody out. Kendrick. And that one ran off the inside. Ball 1.
The tough thing for Suarez is he also has nowhere to put anybody else. So you have to throw strikes in these situations, and you got to try to get him to put it in play. You just want him to put it in play where we have our defense set.
Beauty. Slider on the outside for a strike. Now out on deck for the Nationals is Sanchez. Adrian Sanchez. With the pitcher due up next. Did he swing? An appeal? No, says Jerry Meals. No swing. 2-1. A little frustrating there for Suarez. I think he thought he swung. Did he swing?
He held it back. He was close, but I don't think he quite did.
Best arm in the Giants outfield, Jarrett Parker. Picked up another outfield assist today. That is sprayed foul into the seats now. It's strike 2. Span is not a very good arm in center. And Pence, I would say Pence maybe an average arm in right.
Yeah, but from where they're all sitting, they all can get the ball to home plate from where they're at right now. They're pretty shallow in the outfield there.
And that's where you have to be. There's no point in being deeper than where you can throw a guy out front. And ideally, you would come running forward in a fly ball to make the throw. That is a foul. 2-2 the count.
Yeah,
but
even
Parker in left field, he's got a pretty strong arm.
Yeah, but even on a fly ball, if these guys have to turn their backs to go catch that fly ball,
game over.
Game is over. Yep. So you have to. The ball has to stay in front of your defense at all times for you to have a chance to win this ball game in this situation, or to get out where no one scores.
Infield in, outfield in. That one is deep. Way back in left center field. It's a grand slam. A game-ending grand slam by the veteran Howie Kendrick. 24 and a half hours after the 3-game series began, it ends on a walk-off grand slam by Howie Kendrick. It didn't really matter if it went over the wall or not. They had already won as soon as it got over the outfielders. But the Nationals take the nightcap of the doubleheader, and they take the series 2 out of 3. And for the Giants, the long night will continue with their flight to Miami. Once again, the final score tonight in 11 innings. After the Giants took game 1 4-2, the Nationals defeat the Giants 6-2. Stay tuned now. The Esurance Giants post-game live program will start right now.